Thank you.
Football is back, and you can check out the new arrivals in the Next Round store. Support the brand by grabbing a t-shirt, hoodie, or hat. See the latest gear online at nextround.store. That's nextround.store. We've got gear in your favorite team colors, perfect to wear to the stadium or tailgate. All the gear has been approved by everyone on the show. Quality and comfort that's perfect to share as a gift. Just visit nextround.store. That's nextround.store, the official store of Double Down Media. The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Stay up to date with the Next Round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like the Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy-to-listen-to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
I got a couple of stake wins over the weekend. 1-2, lost one, so went one back in my direction. Stake Bets always brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop.
Yeah, great place to stop by. You can it's a one-stop shop for the entire dinner. Treat the family, stop and see Jim and the incredible staff there at New York Butcher. The New York Butcher Shop has the finest and certified Angus beef, steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for you and your family. And don't forget, they've got a great selection of wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, your one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Friends just moved to Memphis. I turned them on to the best sandwich in town right there. They wanted the big stack sandwich. I said, New York Butcher Shop, that's where you go. Okay, you got 30 seconds for each one of these topics. First, Joel Klatt's comments about the Auburn job in the future. Your biggest takeaway from that, Brown?
Well, I mean, he says Coach Prime. I just don't think there's any way the power brokers at Auburn would hire Coach Prime.
Yeah, but he will go somewhere soon.
He will, yeah.
For you, Dallas and the Giants tonight. Don't give me a player that. What are we looking for the Giants to win the game tonight? Is it Saquon? Is it the receiver stepping up? What is it?
Well, the offensive line's got to hold up. I mean, Daniel Jones, a mobile quarterback. I mean, going against Micah Parsons is unblockable right now. But I do think week one Saquon, if the Giants are going to have any success and be a playoff threat, he's got to be more week one than he was week two.
More points tonight, Dallas and Giants, or Braves and Nationals?
Dallas.
Would have been
I knew I should have given out the over on this game.
Not a lot of scoring tonight, in my opinion. Braves at the White House today, and then they're playing the Nationals tonight. We're back with you tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now as we get rolling into a Tuesday after Monday Night Football. We'll get to that game between the Cowboys and the Giants and talk a little bit of that in a moment. Also, a lot of college football. You'll hear from Brian Harsin later this segment here. And a fun show ahead, which includes John Parker Wilson in studio. And in the final hour, the great Jason Campbell will join us to talk about the quarterback position at Auburn and a lot more. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Forrester Lunsford, and Taylor is on the social media front today, handling everything as we get ready to roll into another weekend of college football week 5. But let's put a wraps on the NFL from what we saw last night. Not the most entertaining game for a little bit early in the first half, but it got really juicy in the second half. And give it to Cooper Rush. I mean, he wins the game. They're 2-1 now. Without Dak Prescott, I mean, with Dak Prescott, they may be 2-1. That's all you can ask for in a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think they probably lose to they did lose to Tampa.
With Dak.
Yeah. So, yeah, they would be probably 2-1, same situation here. Cooper Rush is doing what Cooper Rush needs to do. He's not turning the football over. He's making some timely throws. He had that unbelievable throw to CeeDee Lamb that he catches 99 out of 100 times he drops. Then he makes the difficult one-handed catch.
Yep.
For the touchdown.
But anytime you can go on the road with a backup quarterback and get a division win,
yes.
that's stealing a game right there.
In the division.
Yeah.
You know what probably happened on the CeeDee Lamb drop is that he was shocked that Cooper threw it on the money and got out there.
Like I'm supposed to. Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. That
Dak
ball is
couldn't
here.
have thrown it that well.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Is this our backup quarterback? He seems surprised by that. But your point is, okay, that's a win over what was the unbeaten Giants. And that's a big win for America's team, the Cowboys. So a good win there for Cooper Rush. And Dak keeps saying, I mean, he gripped the football. Yeah. He was doing something in pregame. He thinks he has a chance to come back in the fourth.
Well, I mean,
week 4.
Yeah,
next week.
I mean, that was what they had said all along. He doesn't need to go on the IR. He's going to be back quicker than you think. So that would be quicker than most people would have thought coming out of that Tampa game with the injury. I got cracked up. I was watching the Manning cast. I was going back and forth.
Yeah, that's the only one I watched last night.
It was the Manning cast?
Yep.
I got cracked up at Peyton. He always wants them to call timeout. I mean, he gets so frustrated about poor clock management. It is hilarious watching. So at the end of the half, there's like a minute and a half to go. And he's like, okay, let's call a timeout here. Let's call a timeout. Let's just call a timeout. Mike, call a timeout, man. Just get them settled. And, Pat McAfee was on with them at the time, so Eli and Pat are talking, and in the background, Manning's just going, timeout, Mike. Let's go. Let's just call a timeout and get this thing settled. So they don't call a timeout. They run a play. Then they get right to the end of the half, and the clock's running down. He's like, call a timeout. They need to use a timeout here. And they finally use the time. Dallas calls the timeout instead of New York. And Manning says, does nobody else like timeouts as much as me?
I don't think they do.
They don't. He's always wanted to call timeout at the end.
Is that an indicator of the quality of game on Monday Night Football if you're watching the Manning cast or the main broadcast? Because if it's
probably
a really good game, I'm not going to be on the Manning cast, right?
Well, if it's next Monday night, I will not be on the Manning cast because Rams play at San Francisco, and I've always said that. If not, I mean, I'm still watching the game and I'm getting more entertainment.
Yeah.
I know that's a great broadcast team on the regular.
No, they're really good. I like them. It's not that I dislike them. It's just I just like the variety. And Manning, Peyton specifically in end-of-game and end-of-half situations is fun because he gets so frustrated with time management. He literally said, the goal is not to go in the locker room with all of your timeouts. Let's use a timeout here. So he's funny, but I don't like it when they have guests on.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Tracy Morgan was awful.
Yeah, I didn't watch a piece of that.
Yeah.
And I started with Jimmy Johnson, but they're in the uncomfortable situation of Peyton in one place, Jimmy in one place, Eli in one place. So everybody starts their sentence at the same time, and then they all hear each other talking, so everybody stops. And then you got the awkward silence. And then everybody starts again. Then everybody stops, and then nobody knows what to do. And for somebody that does what I do for a living, that may as well be watching a murder. I'm like, I cannot look at this. I got to look away.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I don't watch it sometimes. It can be too much for me.
Yeah, Patrick said Tracy Morgan was so uncomfortable to watch. And, I remember he was in the bad accident.
Yeah.
So I did Google that to see if there's any lingering effects.
Right.
it seemed like there was watching the game last night. But, I mean, the guy's back on tour, and he's doing TV and film. And
Well, Jimmy Kimmel, who was on at halftime with Joe Buck, speaking of uncomfortable, that halftime interview, Joe's not very comfortable loosening the tie there.
And Jimmy's not very funny.
And but it was funny at the end when Jimmy said, so really, is it true that you left Fox because of the way Terry Bradshaw smelled?
Didn't he say he smelled like a cob of corn?
A cob of corn, a corn cob?
You thought that was funny?
No, it's just uncomfortable.
Oh, it was very uncomfortable, yes.
I'm not comfortable talking about Fox at this point. It was something whatever Buck said.
Yeah.
But he had mentioned, he goes, this is not a joke. I just saw Tracy Morgan in the parking lot when I got here in the second quarter in a yellow Lamborghini blocking traffic out front. And he goes, and I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
he talked to Tracy Morgan, says he's got 3 Lamborghinis now. I mean,
what's the Lambo go for? About 150?
I think a lot more than that.
Well,
it depends on which
yeah.
one you get. But he was talking about his models, and they were both, the Manning brothers were like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But he said, I've got a yellow one, I've got a gray one, another one. Like everybody needs 3 Lamborghinis, right?
Yeah. Well, he had a yellow one that was apparently blocking traffic outside of the stadium in New York last night. So
what is he pimping?
Who?
Tracy Morgan.
I don't know.
No, Kimmel was doing a live show in Brooklyn. I saw that.
Yeah.
So Tracy Morgan apparently played. I'm trying to remember this last night.
Do you know, Rocky?
He's supposed to be in they're doing Twins, the sequel of Twins, right?
Oh, are they?
And then Tracy Morgan, I think he's going to be the third brother.
Yeah. The non-twin?
The non-twin, yeah. The
Why
older,
do you say he's non-twin?
Well, if he's a third brother, he'd be a
Well,
triplet.
Schwarzenegger looked identically to Danny DeVito.
Well, it's not going to be Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger again, is it?
I think so. Like that was the thing they're teaming up again. That's
no.
yeah.
Oh, you're screwing with us.
Okay.
Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Tracy Morgan are doing a remake of Twins. Is that what you're telling me?
All right. Another Twins, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
I'll have to find it for you guys.
Twins 2? Is that what it'd be called?
Double twins?
Yeah.
Lunsford, I'm going to put that mic on for you real
Oh,
quick.
Lunsford knows this? Yeah.
I mean, just a quick Google. Twin sequel triplet set. Tracy Morgan joins Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and
so the funny twist is Tracy's black and he happens to be one of their brothers.
Don't spoil it. Come on now.
That's going to be hysterical. It's going to be hysterical.
Man, the first one was a guilty pleasure. It was like Kelly Preston and her one of her best looks. But I can't imagine how bad this will be.
Danny DeVito in those Jersey Mike's commercials, he is so small. It's just so obvious in this commercial. He's like looking up at the counter.
Have you seen? Oh, I already talked about this. I think the joke, the April Fool's Day.
Do Always Sunny?
Yeah.
He said.
Yeah, I've got to see that interview though with Danny DeVito. It's incredible. So Danny DeVito's making a comeback apparently.
It
right?
appears, yeah.
He's doing commercials.
Doing commercials
You know
and
who's
apparently a
doing
bad movie.
More commercials than anyone is John Hamm. Mad Men.
Oh, he's all over it.
He is everywhere.
Have you seen the one where what the hell's his name? Retired guy from Tampa Bay and New England.
Gronkowski.
The one where he plays dumb. that is so funny because it's not forced at all.
Cowboys win last night 23-16. What else is happening in the world of sports? After I tell you about the great folks at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg Nelson, a wonderful human being. He and his wife own Storm Restoration Roofing, locally owned for over 20 years now. Greg wants to help you and your family with your roof. What protects you with winter coming? How good is your roof? Does it have any leaks, any storm damage up there you don't know about? It all can be solved and located if you do a free no-cost inspection up on that roof right there. A free no-cost inspection. And that's what Greg will do for you. No obligation at all. 205-542-3531. Here's the number, 205-542-3531. Or just look him up on Facebook. Most of you have a Facebook page. Go there and just look up Greg from Pell City. It's open up. You can go contact him there. Storm Restoration Roofing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, the best warranties in the business. Insurance companies trust Greg. You should too. And keep that number on standby. If there's ever any storm damage in the future, Greg can help you out. Locally owned, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Before we get into our on-campus drive-through and hear from Brian Harsin, he is still the coach at Auburn, though there was a big debate on whether or not Deion Sanders would take the Auburn job. Would he fit in the Auburn job? Blah, 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 blah. Deion Sanders, a hot topic right now because there are openings that are popping up, like Georgia Tech, where he was a Falcon, where he was an Atlanta Brave, where he's still uber popular in Atlanta. And, you know, our friend Bruce Feldman has a list. Adam Rittenberg has a list. Deion's on the top of that list for Georgia Tech. Joel Klatt said on our show yesterday that he thinks Deion would be a great fit at Auburn. And then there's the folks who say Deion will not leave Jackson State. If he leaves Jackson State, he's only going to leave to stop coaching, that he's there for a purpose. What do you think the next step is for Deion Sanders? Do you think he stays at the HBCU? Does he go back to, you know, television and stops coaching when his son is done? Or do you think he pursues this grind of a job in the Power 5 at Georgia Tech, Auburn, or somewhere else?
I could see him give it a shot. I mean, Deion's got an ego, and look, ultimately he's going to want to win a championship. I think the Jackson State thing, I think he did it for fun, his love of football, and I think he's got a taste of coaching now. And I think he does want an opportunity with a Power 5 school. Auburn seems like a strange fit. Georgia Tech, for whatever reason, seems like a better fit, and maybe it's just the natural ties to Atlanta. I think Georgia Tech would be smart to give him a shot. I really do.
I don't think you can discount. I know you said he did it for fun and the love of football, and I think both those are true, but I also don't think you can discount guys like he and Eddie George who don't need the money that are doing this for the HBCU schools, that they view these as schools that haven't traditionally got the attention they deserve, maybe haven't gotten the quality of coaching that they deserve because they can't spend that type of money. They don't have the budgets.
Hugh Jackson at Grambling State for
That's
the
right.
same reason,
Yep.
I think.
I mean, you at Tennessee State, you got Eddie George coaching the team with Jeff Fisher as an assistant. I don't know that Jeff's a full-time assistant. I think he's like a, analyst or whatever. But, I mean, think about that. If you go to Tennessee State and you're being coached by one of the great running backs in NFL history and a former NFL head coach, I mean, I think these guys are doing it to give back to these HBCUs, even though they didn't go there. Deion went to Florida State, and Eddie George went to Ohio State. So I don't think you can discount the appeal of that long term. It would not stun me if Deion does that for 5-10 years and then retires.
Yeah.
And never takes a job
It's
like
commendable, but at the same time, I mean, how much publicity are those schools really getting?
this. A ton.
I think a ton.
Jackson State, we've talked about Jackson State because of Deion more than in the last 2 years than they've ever been mentioned.
Okay, I'll give you Jackson State.
Tennessee State to a lesser degree. I don't disagree with that. That's just because Eddie George is not as flashy as Deion. But Jackson State has received, I mean, there's no telling how many millions of dollars worth of attention that they've received just from having Deion as the coach.
But you're right. Eddie George and Hugh Jackson, they haven't changed the amount we talk about Grambling State. We'll talk about Grambling State when they play Southern on NBC or when they come and play Bama State or Bama A&M.
I bet in Nashville, Tennessee State's a bigger story than they've ever been.
Because of
Eddie George, yeah. So, and I mean, that's something because you're selling tickets there, right? Those are people that buy tickets to come watch them play.
All right, let's do our Hamburger Heaven on-campus drive-through with the guy who's still coaching Auburn. That is Brian Harsin. Got a few sound bites from his news conference yesterday. And it's brought to you by the great folks at Hamburger Heaven. A lot of great locations around town, including Highway 280 near us.
Yeah, look, since 1982, Hamburger Heaven serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, milkshakes, sandwiches made fresh to order, including that club sandwich. All of their ingredients are fresh, prepared daily. This includes their beef, never frozen, hand-patted each day for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gordondale, Homewood.
Rockstar, we'll start with cut number 3. Brian Harsin is asked about Robbie Ashford's performance as the starter. Got to start, of course, this past weekend in the win over Missouri. Here's the head coach of Auburn.
You know, I know he was really excited about having an opportunity to go out there and start and play, and then, as he should. And he played well, and he utilized his legs. He made some good throws at times. I mean, overall, and I thought his demeanor on the sideline, attitude, approach, everything going into the week was really, really good. So I like where he was at. All right, going into the game, I like where he was at after the game. I know he was emotional, and it was a big game for him. And so that's something to build on going into this week, right? He's got that experience to go out there and actually start and play. He's been playing, but to start and play and to really have the whole week of repping the game plan, we can build on that. So we'll see what that looks like going into this week.
Right. So he is the starter because Harsin said yesterday that TJ Finley is back practicing and that Finley and Gurner are the co-backups.
That's interesting. I mean, if Finley, I don't know, practicing and what percent is he are 2 different things.
Right.
But if you had as close to 100% Finley as Robbie Ashford is to 100%,
you got to go Finley.
I think Finley's got to be your starter.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a co-backup tells me he's just not healthy enough to be the starter.
So here is on our Hamburger Heaven on-campus drive-through, Brian Harsin getting asked if Finley can play. Would he go back to the 2-quarterback system like it was before?
Assuming Finley can play, would that be something you go back to?
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's a new week, and under the circumstances, I think that was, part of our plan, right? This last week, that was not part of the plan. So as the season goes on, things change, and unfortunately, things happen, right? Guys aren't able to play. Some things happen, and you got to tweak and change, and that's the beauty of the season, right? You're always adjusting things because you're dealing with people, and this last week was different. Now looking at it, there was plenty of things in there that we can be better at, but there were some really positive things we took away from it too, even just the week of preparation leading into it. So I think we did what we needed to do early on, and we'll see what that looks like going into this week. But we know both models. We've seen them now in 4 games. So, now it's a chance for us to go out there and see what we want to do this week and what fits best for LSU.
Interesting.
That was interesting. There was a lot in that answer.
Yeah.
What jumped out at you? Because you gave me the interesting. I want to see if we.
Well, first off, Lunsford, microphone, please. What's it called in poker when I give you an indicator of whether I've got a good hand or bad? Is it a tell? Is that what the word?
Tip. Yes,
tip?
you have a very good tell.
What does Dunaway's tell?
He just smiles when he has good cards and frowns when he has bad cards.
Dunaway frowns all the time.
Yeah. No, but I really do.
Which means he really has good cards when he smiles.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I mean, I don't care if anybody knows it at the table. When I get an ace,
fun, guys.
I smile.
When are you taking your shot at the World Series of Poker?
As soon as you give me that corporate credit card to pay off a bet.
We always talk about extra content here. There's you some extra content. Dunaway at the World Series of Poker.
I don't think Lunsford could shoot that while I was playing, though, right? Lunsford video is prohibited.
You can kind of film. There's ways they get around it.
Ways to get around it.
Yeah, interesting.
That's why he's our head of technology.
Kind of filmed by John Lunsford.
After COVID, they want all the publicity they can get. So
So
what was the tell here?
Well, first of all,
what was he telling?
Well, it seems like when he is not telling me the truth, he puts both hands in his pocket. Yeah. If he throws both hands in his pocket, it seems like he's not going to really tell me 100% of the truth. That seems to be Brian Harsin's tell. I don't know if he's 100%, but whatever he's telling me there, it doesn't sound like. It sounds like they've decided we're going to go with one quarterback, and it's Robbie Ashford. That's what it sounded like to me.
I kind of agree with that, LT. And he basically said, we know what each of them brings to the game. We've seen that over 4 weeks. I mean, he's accepting the fact, which is abundantly obvious to anybody watching the game, these are 2 entirely different quarterbacks. You can't run the same offense with both of them.
Well, and what it kind of tells me is, look, this offensive line isn't good enough to hold up, and the only chance we've got is Robbie Ashford running for his life. And maybe
it's true.
Getting to the sticks every now and then.
Yeah.
The problem is now LSU rolls in, and we all agree they're getting better. If you look at this defense over the last 6 quarters, they've given up 3 points.
That's right.
And 2 of those quarters to Mississippi State, the adjustments they've made. So this is a defense coming in that is playing with a ton of confidence. And this will be by far the best defense that Auburn has seen.
Justin Hokanson made a great point, and I think it was part of the broadcast this weekend too, the struggles of Brian Harsin in the second half against FBS opponents.
They've been awful.
Where the points are few and far between, dating back into last year, and throw Houston in, not a Power 5, into that mix as well from the bowl games, and their second halves have been horrendous at scoring in the second half. Brian Harsin was asked about that yesterday in our Hamburger Heaven on-campus drive-through, the struggles in the second half.
We've looked at that. The second half in those areas, we got to be better. That's an obvious statement there. What are the reasons behind that? I think both sides adjust a little bit. So, it comes back to, we got to make some better adjustments. We got to be able to come back to some things that work for us too. We know that. So, it's not just one thing in particular. It's, as you go back and watch a game, right, we should have came back to this. We should have done that. We could have coached that up better. This was a bad scheme. We don't want to come out in the second half and not be more productive. That's the goal that you want to have at halftime, is you kind of know what they're doing. You know where you're at. You got to make some of those adjustments and then get some of your best plays and the ball in your best players' hands.
Boy, his forehead got scorched Saturday.
It really, really did.
That sunscreen.
We'll play that again because I want to, if everybody will go ding every time you hear something that refers to coaching. I mean, if I'm one of those people that has a lumber company of strongly treated wood.
What color?
Yellow, I'll call it. I'm going to say he is sitting here making my case for me. Listen to this again and just ding every time he hears.
And by the way, was he on the Bills sideline at Hard Rock on Sunday?
It does look like it, doesn't he?
Go.
We've looked at that. The second half in those areas, we got to be better. You know, that's an obvious statement there. What are the reasons behind that? You know, I think both sides adjust a little bit. So, you know, it comes back to, we got to make some better adjustments. We got to be able to come back to some things that work for us too. We know that. So, you know, it's not just one thing in particular. It's as you go back and watch a game, right? We should have came back to this. We should have done that. You know, we could have coached that up better. This was a bad scheme. You don't want to come out in the second half and not be more productive. You know, that's the goal that you want to have at halftime is you kind of know what they're doing. You know where you're at. You got to make some of those adjustments and then get some of your best plays and the ball in your best players' hands.
Yeah, but the other option is to stand there and say, guys, have you seen the roster I'm coaching?
Oh, I know.
I mean, I'm trying to win SEC football games with Robbie Ashford and TJ Finley as my quarterback.
And then I would raise my hand and say, but Coach, have you seen the roster of Lincoln Riley's first team at USC?
Yeah, he's a better recruiter than me. Yeah, I'll own that one. He's a better recruiter than me. What are you going to say to that big guy? Ding. Right? Okay. All right. So I didn't recruit well.
Okay. But USC, where they were at 4-8 last year, was in a worse spot than Auburn was. Auburn's in the SEC. You've got this hotbed of recruiting. I mean, you should be able to.
Lincoln Riley went and got a legit quarterback and a legit receiver. There's no doubt about that. Auburn went and got an average quarterback who's never even taken a snap. So there's your difference right there. You want to talk difference? There's your difference, right?
It's one of the big differences.
Yeah.
But I still look around that roster. I don't know if you've got a playmaker at receiver. The offensive line seems to be in shambles. The defense, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to think about the defense right now.
The fact of the matter is USC hired Lincoln Riley in the offseason. Auburn tried to fire Brian Harsin in the offseason. That's our Hamburger Heaven on-campus drive-thru brought to you by our friends at Hamburger Heaven.
Still Harsin's job to get out and recruit.
You're right. Absolutely.
Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Pete Flack and that great staff serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, the hand-spun milkshakes, delicious sandwiches. Everything's always fresh, never frozen. They're hand-patted each day, those burgers for breakfast or lunch. Stop by one of those 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
All right, so we roll on, and still to come, Clay Travis at the top of the hour. We'll get into our 4 downs in this hour as well, some college football instant reactions. We've got a Cowan Equipment poll question up for you. We'll tell you about that as we move throughout the show. And one of our new sponsors as well is Buzzed. It's B-U-Z-D, right? B-U-Z-D?
B-U-Z-D. Yeah. Look, here's the app. It's simple. You just like you put the Next Round app on your phone. I've got the Buzzed app. So if I'm having a party at the house, I don't want to get out. I want to stay safe. Buzzed will bring everything that you want to your house. They'll bring the party to you. They've got cannabis. They've got alcohol. They've got tobacco. They're adding inventory constantly. I heard my sister-in-law used them not once but twice yesterday at the pool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of a long pool day there. But the fastest, most affordable delivery service with pricing in line with your favorite package or convenience stores. Buzz combines the best of service and delivery industries to create this unique to Alabama and first-of-a-kind service. Found on your app store, Buzzed, B-U-Z-D. Use code NEXTROUND for 15% off your first order. It's a unique business model. They've got the cannabis, alcohol, tobacco, anything you need. From downtown Birmingham to Highway 119 and everything in between, we bring the buzz to you.
Well, that's our area, too. How many unbeaten teams left in the FBS? Quickly. It
21.
was 33 last week. 21.
I'm going to say 21.
21 is the correct answer. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Guys, let's talk about the new season. Dove season is here, and the team at Nichols Outfitters is ready to get you ready for the hunt. 12, 20, and 28 gauge shotgun shells are in stock, and all the brands that you trust. Demand is at an all-time high, so we encourage you to drop by soon to stock up for the season. And of course, while you're there, check out our amazing selection of the finest shotguns in one of Alabama's largest showrooms. The staff is excited to be back out on the hunt, so drop by soon. Nichols Outfitters, off exit 242 in Pelham, or online at nicholsoutfitters.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Unexpected expenses are every homeowner's nightmare. The longer you wait, the more the expense. That's why if you have water, fire, or mold damage to your home or business, you should call DryTech immediately. The quicker you call, the more you save. DryTech's professionals are accustomed to dealing with these situations and can guide you toward the quickest and most efficient solution to your problem. DryTech also offers 24/7 emergency services, so let DryTech prevent a minor problem from becoming a major one. Call DryTech 205-637-0143 or go online to mydrytech.com.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another college football season. And welcome back to another season of Fansville by Dr. Pepper. That little slice of heaven. Every man, woman, and student section drinks Dr. Pepper like their life depends on it. It does. Where the air is filled with the scent of charcoal grills and the streets are marked with yard lines. Practical. Where the current trending baby names are Blitz, Spike, and 2-point conversion. Adorable. And recruitment starts before you're born. It's a linebacker. Where NFT stands for Not Fun Tailgate, and DIY stands for Dr. Pepper is Yummy. It is. It's the place off-season fever dreams are made of, where the right to life, liberty, and barbecue is written in the town's constitution. Saucy. And the current forecast is sunny, with a 90% chance of the skies opening up and raining down delicious droplets of Dr. Pepper. Grab a bucket. Get ready for anything to happen this college football season on Fansville by Dr. Pepper. The one fans deserve. Grab some today.
This is your home. You want a brighter future and a community that's united by action and commitment. And united starts with you. We are United Way. And for almost 100 years, we have served people from all walks of life. That's our united commitment. United starts with you. Give to United Way of Central Alabama.
This hour of the next round is fed by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Visit Culver's for all your tailgating needs this football season. From chicken to burgers, find it at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services, for all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at CrockerMovingServices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, CrockerMovingServices.com.
Back with you on the next round. 4 downs in just a second. By the way, Hurricane Ian or Ian? Ian. Is it Ian?
I think it's Ian.
Let's go Ian.
Ian?
The only Ian I've ever heard is Ian Ziering.
Yeah.
Ian Eagle, March Madness.
Ian Eagle.
Yes.
Most are Ians, though.
Okay, Hurricane Ian puts eastern Washington and Florida a little bit in jeopardy. Landfall in the Tampa area projected for midday Thursday. Don't know if it'll be any weather problems Saturdays, but Scott Strickland's having to watch the impact it may have on emergency personnel, whether or not Eastern Washington can get to Gainesville. So put a little check mark on the concerns for the Florida game. Not out of the realm of possibility. It gets moved to Sunday. Also, my Buccaneers are living in Brown's house this weekend. We went down to Miami yesterday. We'll be practicing in the dumps of the Miami facilities.
Brand new facilities, Jim. Some of the nicest in the NFL. And if y'all don't like it, you can go practice in Cuba.
Well, I mean, Miami, we're close, aren't we? Already?
I mean, literally brand new facilities. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I figured you guys would give us your old dump that we went by in 2012.
The way your team played Sunday, that's probably what you ought to get. Tell your coach.
Our team
tell your coach there's no clocks in there.
It wasn't 2012, by the way. That was 2018.
It was 2018. Our team's so old, Brown, they probably will drive to the old facility. Where's the Orange Bowl?
Y'all are staying at the Villages.
I mean, our quarterback's 45 years old. We can't go to Cuba. What about the missiles? Part of our show is brought to you by Dr. B.
Yes, my friend Dr. B. Going to see him actually on Thursday to get the follow-up. It's been a few months since I've been using the non-invasive laser treatment that I've been telling you guys about. With age, unfortunately for most, comes hair loss. When it started to happen to me, I asked around, and everyone said Dr. Beckenstein is the guy you need to see. I set up that consultation with Dr. B and his team. They perform the genetic testing to determine the best course of treatment. It is cutting edge. Dr. B, the only one in the state that offers it. He can target an individual's treatment based on their genetics and formulate compounds and prescriptions to their profile. This is an absolute game changer. After I got my results, me and Dr. B had that virtual meeting, went over my options, chose the non-invasive laser treatment, which will help increase the thickness and health of my hair. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Call Dr. Beckenstein today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316, and tell him the Next Round sent you.
All right, we're going to jump into four downs here in just a second. From that news conference yesterday with Brian Harsin, Auburn starting center Tate Johnson is out 6 to 8 weeks, hurting that offensive line just a little bit more. And did you see where Boise State quarterback Hank Bachmeier is hitting the portal? Now, he officially can't hit the portal right now unless he's a grad. But he's not going to play anymore this year. He's walking away from the team because he's not happy. They fired his OC to bring in, who is it, Kirk Cutter? Is that who it is?
Dirk Cutter.
Your old coach.
Former head coach there.
Yeah, so he's coming in to be the OC, and Hank says, I'm done, man. I'm not going to play the rest of the year. I'm going to hit the portal. I'm going to have 2 years of eligibility, and he's going to go somewhere else and play.
Okay, here's the thing. A couple of things about Bachmeier. First of all, to me, this is a selfish decision. At least give it some time for your teammates. The best opportunity for Boise to win is with Hank Bachmeier in there.
If he plays one more game, though, then he can't get that red shirt.
Okay.
He's got that 4-game thing.
Well,
I mean, you can't get pissed about firing your offensive coordinator when you scored 10 points in a loss at UTEP when you were a double-digit favorite.
By the way, Bachmeier's been bad.
Yeah.
Last year he was average. The best I've ever seen him play was his first game against Florida State.
Freshman year.
Yep.
And in case you guys missed it, we talk about it every week now, the double-digit favorite, the double-digit dog that wins outright. We didn't even have to wait till Saturday. That's the game that it happened in. Boise State was a double-digit dog, double-digit favorite at UTEP. The dog won that game outright. 27-10, I think, was the final, right? Am I right about that? Something like that.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they got run in a very embarrassing fashion. That program, boy, it's just a shell of what it once was.
It was. Some people blame Brian Harsin for that, and some people want Brian Harsin back up there after Andy Avalos. We'll see what happens with the future at Boise State. All right, let's do four downs. Brought to you by Vulcan Tires. Little college football, little NFL right here. Let's do it, Rocky. LT, Vulcan Tires.
Hey, 4 locations, soon to be that 5th location in Pell City. Anything you need, bumper to bumper, they can handle, from brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. Stop in one of those great locations, or for more information, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
After watching the Cowboys last night and seeing the Eagles so far and knowing Dak's coming back, who wins the NFC East?
Eagles.
They're not going to flatten out at any point. Eagles, right?
Too many flaws. Not enough weapons offensively for me. Look, Tony Pollard looked good last night. Zeke's kind of a shell of what he once was. CeeDee Lamb, could be the part of a number one wide receiver. But with Schultz out for the year now, I'm just not seeing it. And the offensive line not as good as it once was. The defense is really good.
Cowboys'
though.
defense is good. That's what I was about to say.
Really good.
When those two play each other, Eagles, Cowboys, that'll be some pretty interesting football.
Yeah. No, I agree. The defense is really good. I mean, to hold the Giants to 16 when Micah Parsons really wasn't much of a factor. He had one tackle. He had a couple of quarterback hits, but he wasn't the Micah Parsons we've seen lately.
I think yesterday you called the Eagles the best team in the NFC. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I think they are right now.
The AFC is much better than the NFC, at least right now. So it is a bit of a low bar, but I guess the Rams, you would consider them second best?
I don't know. Rams got flaws.
I mean, who else, though?
Oh, whew.
Tampa?
No.
Green Bay? Minnesota?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Eagles is the answer to that question.
Yeah. I think I think the Eagles look to be, they've played the best football through 3 weeks. And then I think there's that next tier of teams, which is Tampa, the Rams, Green Bay, even San Francisco minus the turnovers.
Second down.
To college football, 21 unbeaten teams. 2 of them this week at home. In interesting matchups. More trouble this weekend. Minnesota versus Purdue or Florida State versus Wake?
I would say Florida State versus Wake. I just don't think Purdue's got anything for Minnesota. They're not going to be able to stop that run. And Wake's a team that obviously can score with you. You saw it against Clemson last week.
Yeah, I mean, the way they scorched that Clemson defense, and they have been, since Sam Hartman came back, been playing well. The only hiccup was Hartman turning it over a little bit against Liberty. But if you look at what he did against Vandy, his numbers minus those interceptions against Liberty, and what he did against Clemson, he's been on fire. So I like Wake there, too. More on that later.
Okay, upset alert come up at 11 o'clock. Jordan Travis, by the way, 321 yards last week. In his last 13 games as a starter, 10-3, Jordan Travis.
I mean, that's a good record for Florida State. That's not one that's going to blow me. In the NFL, nice record. But a Florida State quarterback, do you think Charlie Ward ever lost 3 games?
No, maybe his career.
Chris Winkie lose 3 games?
Third down.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we were doing this show in the early 2000 Florida State era.
I don't know. Is that impressive? Brown, is that impressive?
From where Florida State's been, 10-3.
Yeah, from where Florida State's been, 10-3 is not bad. No, it's exactly what you said.
Yeah, that would make them a 10-win. If that was one season, 10-3, that'd be a pretty impressive year for Florida State. On third down, more total points in their game this weekend. Alabama and Arkansas are NC State and Clemson. What kind of game do you think we're going to see in Fayetteville?
I don't know. I mean, that Clemson defense looked so lost at times against Wake.
Battered secondary, Dabo says. They've got injuries and injuries.
And Arkansas's got a battered secondary as well if you consider Cataline. It's not a recent injury, but their secondary has been awful. I mean, everybody's throwing on Arkansas except Texas A&M. So
it comes down really to me, what kind of game are you expecting in Fayetteville? Like how high of a scoring game do you expect between Alabama and Arkansas?
Do you think Alabama's defense is as good as Texas A&M's?
I think it's better.
You think it's better
than Texas A&M's?
Yes.
Currently number 2 in total defense in the country. I know they're going to play Texas and others.
I really don't think it's close. I think Alabama and Arkansas will be a track meet.
You think Alabama and Arkansas will be a track meet?
But that's the question I'm asking, though. If you think Alabama's defense is as good as A&M's, I mean, Arkansas had some trouble moving it against A&M.
I've got a feeling that this game's going to be 42-35 like.
Sort of like it was last year.
Like it was last year, yeah.
Yeah. NC State Clemson.
I'm going to play the opposite, though. I'm going to play NC State Clemson.
I think NC State Clemson's going to be low scoring.
Yeah.
Just get that feeling.
Just
got that feeling.
Just got that feeling.
Now, as Paul points out, NC State Clemson could be weather affected. South Carolina has already moved their game today to Thursday. Now, they're playing South Carolina State, so it's probably a little easier to make that move. I know I had to spend a ton of time getting ready for them. But if they're that concerned about the weather, if that hurricane is over Clemson, South Carolina at the time, who knows what kind of weather you get there.
Yeah. Wow. I wish the NC State and Clemson would move theirs to Thursday.
Ooh, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
I got Dolphins Thursday.
Get a chance to watch that outside the window.
Yeah, we've actually got pretty good Thursday. Yeah, Thursday and Friday night game. Friday night, Washington, UCLA, undefeated.
Utah State.
Great game. Let's do one more, Rockstar.
Fourth down.
Happy birthday, Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze is...
I think he's the guy that's always looked older than he is.
Yeah, I think he's 51.
And after all he went through, I think he probably looks older now than he.
I've got him at 53 today, so inside your window there. SEC head coach again, ever, Hugh Freeze.
You know, I had an Auburn fan reach out to me yesterday, Hugh Freeze or Primetime. And I said, you've got a much better chance at Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze would take the job. Again, Liberty, they've been up and down this year, but they really should be undefeated.
Yeah, but they haven't been the team you thought they would.
UAB should be unbeaten. They shouldn't have lost to Liberty.
But Liberty hasn't been what you thought they would be with Hugh Freeze there, or at least they haven't been what I thought they would be.
Well, here's where it's complicated. So 2 years ago, yeah, that was a really good Liberty team.
Right.
Last year with Malik Willis, they should have been better. I think they're better this year than people thought they would be.
2-8-5's a 10-1, and they're 3-1 right now.
Yeah, that's pretty good at Liberty, though.
That's a fair assessment.
I guess I'm off there.
And I'll tell you, Liberty has got year in, year out. It's a pretty difficult schedule.
Yeah, well, they're playing as an independent, so they got to take what they can get. So yeah, it has been a difficult.
On their way to Conference USA, I believe.
I think I am so lost on most of this, but I think you're right.
Yeah. So you say SEC coach again or not?
Yeah, I think you'll be an SEC coach again one day.
Well, that's 4 downs. Brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tires.
Yeah, because he would take any of those jobs.
I think if
Missouri.
Yeah, I was going to say if Drinkwitz got fired, he'd take Missouri in a heartbeat.
Hey, anything you need bumper to bumper, these guys can handle for you and your family. Brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. Locally owned and operated. Great guys. For more information, VulcanTireAndAuto.com.
Did you say if Eli Drinkwitz gets fired?
I did say that, Jim.
More on that coming up. And another little thought I had in my mind after Rockstar tells us about his guy.
My guy is Adam Mestrate, MD Realty, of almost 4,000 agents in the Birmingham area that have recorded a sale in the year of 2022. He is in the top 8% of those agents. Adam is a third-generation realtor, born and raised in Birmingham, so he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you? Why rent when you can buy? Buying a home is the largest financial decision you will make, so make sure you are using an agent that you can trust to help walk you through the process. Call Adam Mestrate for a free home evaluation at 205-422-0589 or visit mdrealtyllc.com. At MD Realty, we make the house calls.
Okay, so something on the Eli Drinkwitz front, a thought or something that seems to be bubbling there, and then something I'll call the La Monroe gift. You remember the Louisiana Purchase?
I do.
This is the La Monroe gift.
Okay.
When we come back on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. Football season is back, and so are tailgates. It's time to win that tailgate with Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and his winning team will open up the doors so you can dine in or an easy-to-go pickup when you order at champyschicken.com. At Champy's, you experience southern staples like chicken on a stick and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales that are to die for. Hand-cut chicken tenders and a whole lot more right on your way home or to the big game. Highway 119 in Alabaster. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken. Vulcan Tire and Automotive is hiring. If you want to take advantage of joining in with a local growing company in the automotive service industry, this is the opportunity for you. Hiring oil and tire technicians and more experienced mechanics. If you've got the talent and the desire, there is a spot for you at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Stop by one of their 4 locations and the manager on site can walk you through the pay scale, great benefits, and flexible work schedule. Get paid to build your future in the industry. Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
Hi, I'm Lionel Richie, and I have traveled all over the world, but I consider Tuskegee, Alabama as my home sweet home. I have such a pride in this state, and I know that there's something I need to tell you that's of great importance. Vote. Register to vote and get your voter ID today. It really is easy. Easy like Sunday morning.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The only place to get the best gear for game day is the Pants Store. 5 great locations in Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. You can also order at pantsstore.com and follow the Pants Store on social media. Game day hats, all your Yeti accessories, sunglasses, and game day polos from Antigua, Taylor and Mick, Johnny O, and Gentile. And guys, trust me, this is where your daughters and wife want to shop because of all the in-style fashions made especially for them. It's the Pants Store, Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and coming soon to Hoover and Auburn. When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services, for all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at crockermovingservices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, crockermovingservices.com.
Countdown is on to a new episode of Next Round Cocktails tonight with Kelly and Brittany. Brittany Wagner, Kelly Hunter. You get that tonight at 7 o'clock on our YouTube channel, 7 o'clock Central.
With a guest bartender.
Yeah, mystery bartender. I saw that tweeted out last night. Mystery bartender.
Interesting stuff
They're taking your guesses at Next Round Live as to who it is.
Episode 3 of Next Round Cocktails tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock on the West Coast on your drive home on our YouTube channel right there, Next Round Live. Remember to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and like there. Part of the show today being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports. Before you tell us about that, LT, a couple of injury notes. One of those for Mac Jones, a severe high ankle sprain. What was that surgery they did on Tua back in the day?
I think they call it the tightrope.
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 I think it's called the tightrope. The guys here in Birmingham, Dr. Kane and Dr. Waldrop, I think,
invented it.
Pretty much invented it or perfected it, one of the two.
I don't know if
both.
it's going to require that for Mac Jones, but the Patriot quarterback is expected to be out a few games at least, several games. Tua, his back is sore.
Who has had that surgery, by the way?
Who's had the surgery. Yep. His back is sore, and they're dealing with that this week.
At least it's not a short week.
His ankle is sore. They're dealing with that this week. And your coach pretty much said it's a short week. I don't know if he's going to be able to play, but that's why Teddy Bridgewater is here, and we're sort of preparing for Teddy Bridgewater to play.
Well, that's absolutely what Josh McDaniel said is, look, I've never gone through this with Tua. I don't know. I mean, it's a short week. It's Thursday. I have no earthly idea if he's going to be ready. They didn't even practice yesterday. There's their day off, so basically you're going to have one practice.
Oh, the drama done away with all these stakes on that hinging on that one decision.
Yeah.
Back to Mac Jones, though. Brian Hoyer.
If you don't know, when Tua got drafted, or the first year when he I forget when it was, but we were in the middle of the pandemic, so my mind wasn't right. We're in one of those remote shows.
Yeah,
hazy.
And
I said, somewhere in his career, Tua will start every game for his team in a season, and much like the 72 Dolphins, LT pops a cork of champagne every time Tua misses a start to make it another year. So here we go.
Have it on ice Thursday, LT.
Hey, back, though, to the Mac Jones situation. So Brian Hoyer will get his start Brian Hoyer has been in the league a long time. You know how many consecutive starts he's lost?
Consecutive starts?
Yeah.
No, how many?
He's lost 11 straight.
So 11 in a row he's lost.
Yeah.
And he's about to start for the Patriots potentially.
Yeah, and they go to the Packers, who, by
That's
the
going to
way,
be a tough road trip,
have won 14 consecutive games in Lambeau.
Oh, wow.
Regular season games.
Something's got to give this week, or actually it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing has to give at all.
Bailey Zappi, the backup there, the former Western Kentucky quarterback.
That's our Precision Sports NFL injury update from a couple of Alabama quarterbacks there.
Yeah, our friends, if you're close to or have you met your annual insurance deductible, your out-of-pocket costs could be significantly reduced. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics encourages you to see an orthopedic surgeon for that elective procedure to treat back pain, foot pain, hand pain, shoulder pain, and other joints. Make an appointment. Start saving today. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/providers.
All right. First, the Eli Drinkwitz thing I wanted to tell you about.
I'm interested in this.
No real connection to the two unless you want to read something into it, okay? Read between the lines. Missouri's, remember the kid they showed in the broadcast the other day, if you're watching Missouri-Auburn, Luther Burden, the big 4-star wide receiver who had an Alabama hat, a Georgia hat, and a Missouri hat, and he didn't take Georgia or Alabama. He picked them up, threw them away, put the Missouri hat on.
That's right.
And he's at Missouri.
He had almost the same amount of catches for Alabama and Georgia Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. No targets, basically, for most of the game. So he's upset. He strips all the Missouri pictures, everything off his social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And then, everyone started, he's going to transfer. He's going to transfer. Last night he says, be patient, Tiger fans. I'm a Tiger for life.
Yeah, I just took down all my Tiger pictures.
But something's coming. To me, that's almost a LeBron-like move of calling who your head coach is going to be. Is it possible that Luther Burden is such a big part of the future that he stripped everything of Missouri, wanting to get some guarantees that they're going to make a coaching change or at least target him more?
I don't think you need that. I mean, I think your coach has been really, really average. You've got a really average football coach in Eli Drinkwitz that people seem to like and sing the praises of what a good coach this guy is, but the record just doesn't bear that out, LT. I mean, in fact, do you think he's better or worse than what Barry Odom was?
I think he is slightly better.
I'm going to say exactly the same. By the way,
he's
Georgia
a game under 500.
Georgia coming to play Missouri this week.
Barry Odom, 25-25, 13-19.
So he's a little worse.
He's a little worse than Barry Odom, who you fired after 4 years, who was the handpicked replacement by Gary Pinkel on his staff, and you fired him for that type of record.
I'm right about Eli only coached 1 year at App State, right?
That is correct. He replaced Scott Satterfield when Satterfield took the Louisville job. He coached 1 year. I think they went 12-1.
Yeah.
And everybody bought into that, and he's the next hurry-up, no-huddle guy in the Malzahn, camp and all that, and everybody bought into all that with Eli Drinkwitz, and you've gotten really, really average.
Okay, so keep an eye on Luther Burden, the big wide receiver from Missouri, and if anything comes of him stripping it, he says, Tiger for life. Don't misunderstand me. Something's coming.
Well, it could be LSU. He's transferring to LSU.
It could be anything.
I
right?
think
Tiger for life. Could be Auburn.
Yeah,
Tiger for
life.
Auburn.
I think he will transfer.
Now the La Monroe gift. After Brown tells us about our friends at Nichols Outfitters.
I can't wait for this. Compared to the Louisiana Purchase, it's a big event in human history. Hey, listen, if you need a great safe, Browning and Champion safes are in stock on display at Nichols Outfitters. Gun safety is paramount at Nichols Outfitters. They are so serious about that. And gun storage plays into that. But it's not just gun storage. You can safely secure your valuables, your cash, your gold, your family heirlooms, anything requiring additional security. Check through the new safe display room at Nichols Outfitters, I-65, exit 242 in Pelham. Online, nicholsoutfitters.com.
It's literally a safe room.
Yeah, it is. It is a safe room, a room full of safes. Yes.
Okay, so here's the Louisiana gift. Do you guys realize the gift Nick Saban gave every first-year coach by losing to Louisiana Monroe?
Yeah.
That first year?
No, you're right about that.
Because when it happens now, for instance, Mario Cristobal this week is the recipient of the Louisiana Monroe gift that Nick Saban bestowed on all of college coaches. Yeah. Because everyone can say, we just lost to Middle Tennessee. But you know what? Nick Saban lost to La Monroe his first year, and he's won 6 national championships after that.
So different. So different.
It is, but
the
it's what everybody
programs
says,
weren't
yep.
even close. Cristobal's already got players. He has a quarterback that is projected as a first-round guy by
I don't know why.
experts.
Have you watched him?
Well, he looked great last year.
Yeah,
and since Cristobal took
how
over,
has he been this year?
I'm
yeah,
just
he
saying
shit the bed this year.
It's a bailout for every first-year coach when it happens. It's the gift that keeps giving. That loss to La Monroe by the greatest coach of all time.
When the yellow school bus rolled in, that was a one-possession game. Middle Tennessee whipped their ass.
And then called him out. Rick Stockstill, after the game, said exactly what Lance just said. Hey, don't paint this any other way. We came down here and whipped them.
Yeah. Florida State. Former Florida State quarterback, by the way.
Rick Stockstill?
I think so.
My gosh.
I think he's a Knoll.
Well, that's a long time ago. Rick Stockstill's in his 60s, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he's a Knoll.
I heard him on with Neuheisel yesterday.
Oh, did you?
He's
Was
pretty
he a good
fired up.
interview?
Yeah. He was okay.
I think he's a Knoll, which adds a
You're
little.
right. Florida State quarterback, 77 to 81.
That adds a little juice to that
Yeah,
Miami comment, by the way.
Probably. But at the same time, Miami just wasn't prepared, and they haven't looked good this year.
Cowan Equipment poll questions. We got a couple of them out. One of them today is which game of unbeatens interests you the most this weekend? You can go vote right now at Next Round Live on Twitter. At Next Round Live on Twitter, brought to you by our friends at Cowan Equipment.
Hey, if you're having a hard time finding that new plastic on the seat piece of heavy equipment, check out Cowan Equipment's rental fleet hit list for a wide range of well-maintained equipment from our rental fleet for sale now. Visit cowan.com/featured used equipment or call 800-239-COWAN for more information.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Double the fun and more ways to win at Victoryland Casino and Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play thousands of your favorite games featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. The new Ride plus $50,000 cash giveaway is going on right now. We're giving away a Ford Bronco, Jeep Wrangler, and $50,000 cash. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drawings October 21st and 22nd. Come win at Victoryland Casino and Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
This hour of the Next Round is fed by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Visit Culver's for all your tailgating needs this football season. From chicken to burgers, find it at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at One Man and a Toolbox. One Man and a Toolbox has provided professional handyman services since 1997. Honesty and reliability are qualities that embody every one of their employees. From residential to commercial, One Man and a Toolbox, they've got a background to help you with almost any project. I've used them multiple times at my home. Give them a call today. Get that free estimate, 205-823-2111. That's 205-823-2111 or online, OneManInAToolbox.com. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
In a word, it's chaos. You'll have to see it to believe it. Whoever said that must have been talking about Talladega. It's a place where chaos mixes with speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other.
What a wild
finish.
NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, October 1st and 2nd.
Bubba Wallace, the winner at Talladega.
Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we're about to announce some winners for our friends at NASCAR and then talk to Clay Travis in a bit. But first, let's get to our headlines this hour, being brought to you by our friends at Bromberg's LT, in business now for almost 200 years.
Yeah, just great people. By the way, if you are in the diamond business, or if you're looking to pop the question, I should say, you need to go see the Diamond Specialist, which is our friends at Bromberg's, family-owned and operated since 1836. They've established that reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. Bromberg's also has that extensive giftware department to service the registry of brides and grooms in Birmingham. Go see our friends at Bromberg's. 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can also view their online store today at brombergs.com.
Alabama's on their way to play Arkansas in a big game, 2:30 CBS, 2:30 Central this weekend. Sam Pittman, after the loss with the Tide coming to town, listen to this.
The sad thing is we lost. And the great thing is we're not used to it. You know, that was only 2 losses in the last 10 games. But it hurt. You know, we had guys that were crying, but every Saturday you put yourself in that situation, you know, and you just try to do the best you can as a coach and as a player. But we've got to learn from some things that we did that we have to not do. And once we get that handled, we'll move on. We don't have time. We got University of Alabama coming in here, and I'm sure we'll rebound and be excited to play.
Great respect to the University of Alabama.
Yeah, and I like his attitude. You know, we lost. We're not used to losing, and people are crying and stuff. Dangerous game for Alabama this weekend as they go to Fayetteville. They'll need to play their A game. Also, T.J. Finley back at practice for Auburn, according to Brian Harsin. And Jimmy Johnson officially retiring from racing, including the Indy racing. He is going to a full-time racing. He'll jump in a car every now and then. Been a great driver for years. Speaking of NASCAR, we're on our way to Talladega.
Yeah, we're about to announce our winners right here, so listen up. You'll still get notification, but you may want to let them know if they're not listening or watching right now. You can get your 2022 Yellowwood 500 tickets, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. That's where you go to reserve your garage experience, your infield passes, your camping spots, your seats, all that right there. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Congrats to Andrew Bolin, who won a pair of weekend tickets, and Nick Dewing, who won a pair of weekend tickets plus garage experience. Woo. You will be getting contacted by our staff, but congrats to you. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, Fox Sports, with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What's up, Clay? How are you?
Doing well. How are y'all?
Doing fantastic. Thanks a lot. It had to be a cathartic experience as a Tennessee fan. I was stunned to realize that over the last 15 years, Tennessee is 1-29 combined against their two biggest rivals, Alabama and Florida. There had to be a cathartic experience Saturday to at least get a little bit of that monkey off your back.
Yeah, look, I think Tennessee fans mostly put Alabama to the side because it's not like Alabama's losing very often to anybody. So that's a story that remains to be seen whether Tennessee can get back to a level of competing with Alabama. But Tennessee's been good enough over the last 10 years to beat Florida half the time, and most of the time has sort of choked it away. And so that's why it was such a big win. Look, I don't think this is an elite Florida Gator team, although I do think they played their best game of the season, and I thought Anthony Richardson proved why he likely, I think, is going to end up being a first-round draft pick before all is said and done if he continues to evolve this year with Billy Napier starting there with the Gators. But, Tennessee now finishes September 4-0. Bye week is perfectly placed right now. Go on the road next weekend against LSU. A little bit of a break, I would say, that game is kicking off at 11 a.m. Central Time, and have the opportunity to potentially be 5-0 with Alabama coming to town. And as I said last week, are going to be favored, Tennessee is, against everybody on their schedule but Alabama and Georgia. So, look, I think most Tennessee fans, if you said right now, hey, will you take a 10-2 season, most of them would say, yeah, of course. It's been a long time. And I think Tennessee has right now the table set to win 9 or 10 games. That game against LSU will be tough. The game against Kentucky will be tough. I don't think that Mizzou, South Carolina, or Vandy offer much in the way of a real challenge. And then it'll be intriguing to see what this Tennessee team can do, like I said, against Alabama and Georgia, who are 1 and 2 in the country right now. Tennessee's had a little bit of success against Georgia over the last decade or so. Not any success, obviously, against Alabama. But I think this Tennessee offense is really good. Now, the secondary, I think, leaves much to be desired, and they're going to have to win some shootout-style games. But this is a pretty solid team. I don't think it's crazy to have Tennessee as a top 10 caliber team this year.
I saw moments from Hendon Hooker when he was at Virginia Tech, but this guy's been lights out. Right now he's averaging over 300 total yards per game. He's got 11 touchdowns, no turnovers. If you were voting for the Heisman, I know you've got some bias, but is he a legitimate guy right now?
He's number 4 in the Heisman polls. The odds right now, because you can bet on this in many different places. And I don't think that's a crazy spot for him to be in. And I think he's probably the player that has risen the most on the board. Last year, I tweeted in the bowl game, and I said, look, Hendon Hooker is, I think, going to be a Heisman contender next year with another year in the Josh Heupel system. And what he's done, I think it's 46 total touchdowns and 3 interceptions since he took over, 38 touchdowns, 3 picks, and 8 rushing touchdowns. I think those numbers are correct since he became the starting quarterback under Josh Heupel. And again, remember, he transferred in from Virginia Tech and was not the starter last year. Joe Milton was, who's still on the team and has come in for spot duty. Look, it remains he's going to have a lot of opportunities with games against Alabama and Georgia for sure. I think that Kentucky game will probably be a fairly primetime game, given that Kentucky right now is sitting in the top 10 as well. So he's got the opportunity to, I think, put himself in a position where he could get an invite to New York. I think it's going to be hard unless C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young really stumble for it not ultimately to end up one of those two guys, just because of how good Alabama and Ohio State are likely to be down the stretch. But I think he can put himself in the mix where he potentially gets an invite to New York, which is pretty wild to think about. There have not been a lot of quarterbacks like Hendon Hooker, who I don't think was, let's be honest, it wasn't like every program in the country was clamoring to get him. And I think that speaks to how good this Josh Heupel offense is right now. Remember, Tennessee did everything they did to Florida without their top wide receiver, Cedric Tillman, who most people are anticipating will be a first-round guy. Hopefully he's back for LSU I think the expectation is that he'll definitely be back for Alabama. But Hooker was basically flawless against Florida without his top receiving option. And you guys can look up the stats, but I think Tillman went for something like 13 catches for like 180 yards or something on the road against Pitt in that early season game. And by the way, Pitt doesn't look awful. I mean, Pitt may be good enough again to contend for the ACC championship. So Tennessee got a road win at Pitt, gets their bye week, and has an opportunity to go on the road as a road favorite for that 11 a.m. Central kick against LSU.
I would say I don't want to put you in an awkward spot because you work for Fox, and I'm about to ask you a CBS question, but you love awkward spots, so I'll go ahead and ask it. I mean, how idiotic do you have to be when you're choosing the games in advance to bypass that Tennessee-LSU game for one of your doubleheader games and choose instead Georgia and Auburn for that 2:30 kick next weekend? I mean, who's making that choice at CBS? I mean, the AD, I know breakups are hard, but the AD at LSU is upset that CBS didn't choose them. He's being vocal about it. I mean, that had to look like an ignorant choice even in the higher-ups of the SEC.
The only thing I can think, and this is just me like looking ahead at the schedule, the only thing I can think that CBS could have been thinking is Tennessee, Alabama, almost certainly going to be the SEC game of the week, right?
Right.
I think you guys would probably agree.
Yes.
I think there's a good chance looking ahead. Well, I guess they've got the Florida-Georgia game already locked in, CBS does. But Tennessee-Kentucky looks like it's going to be a pretty good game. And then Tennessee-Georgia looks like it's going to be the CBS game the next week. Right. So the only thing I can think is, were they concerned about hitting Tennessee too many times because they've got the Florida game, they could have had the LSU game, they could have the Alabama game. I'm not sure exactly how the situation sets up on that cocktail party day. I'm not sure who gets the next pick there, but Georgia feels like it's the pick as well for Tennessee. So the only thing I can think of is that they were thinking they were going to have too many weeks of Tennessee in too many weeks in a row almost. And so they decided to take a Georgia game, even though, look, I mean, I think Auburn's going to lose this weekend. And then you're going to have whatever it is, 3-2 Auburn against Georgia. And I think Georgia will put an unbelievable beatdown on Auburn this year. So I think a lot of people will turn that game off by halftime and be watching other games. So that's my biggest. I actually even wondered if you really wanted to roll the dice, and I wonder what they would have done if Arkansas had made that kick. I don't think they would have put Bama A&M in primetime. I think they might have saved Bama Tennessee potentially for the primetime game. I really do, because I've not seen a lot of A&M that makes me think that they're going to come into Tuscaloosa in a couple of weeks and be very competitive. And I actually think A&M is going to lose this weekend to Mississippi State, which is going to take sort of the cachet out of that A&M Bama game even more. It's kind of my expectation.
Yeah, your problem with that is they have to reserve the primetime weekend in the preseason. Now, perhaps.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So they already picked it. Okay.
Yeah. And perhaps because they do their two doubleheader weeks, which they get the first two picks, to Jim's point, Clay. They get the first two picks in the 2:30, 7 o'clock primetime window. The week where they have the 11 a.m. 2:30 doubleheader, they do not get the first two picks. They get the first pick and I think the third pick.
Okay, so the wild thing there then is also to think about. I mean, if LSU doesn't fall apart against FSU, would they have taken Tennessee and LSU and put that in prime time over the A? Anyway, I think we expected A&M Bama to look like a way bigger game than it is, and I think I looked at the look-ahead line and we got a 3-touchdown Alabama favorite, and I just think Alabama is going to wipe the floor with A&M on that primetime game next weekend.
I can tell you this. Clay Travis with us, Outkick Fox Sports. He's at Clay Travis on Twitter, and he's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. The vast majority of the people in that office down the street from us in the SEC are so ready for that CBS deal to be over.
I think
that has not been a good partnership.
Yeah, well, and also once you know that the partnership is over, I don't think there's any doubt. Like Withrow was pointing out, Chad Withrow on he does an Outkick 360 show for us, and I was listening to him yesterday, and I didn't watch the CBS broadcast of Tennessee, Florida, But he was like, man, it feels like they've pulled a lot of their resources out of the SEC on CBS. I don't know if your listeners and viewers feel the same way. He said it just doesn't have the same punch. It doesn't feel like there's as many cameras or the graphic packages are as good. I have not watched, because I've been on the road so much, I have not gotten a chance to watch that game. And certainly I was in the stadium for Florida, Tennessee over the weekend. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they basically are announcing that they're going to get divorced and still living together for a couple of years. And that typically doesn't go very well.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that. But, hey, Clatt was on the show yesterday, and he was talking about Deion Sanders to Auburn. I've seen on a short list Deion Sanders to Georgia Tech. Do you believe Deion will take one of these jobs, will be given an opportunity, and do you think he'd do a good job?
What's his record at Jackson State?
Really good.
It's 15-2.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think to the extent there was nervousness about giving him a head coaching job, he seems to be doing pretty well at Jackson State. Certainly he's recruited at a high level. Georgia Tech feels to me like a no-brainer. I mean, that program has – I don't know if Deion would take it. That program has zero sizzle. It doesn't seem to me like, especially in the state with Georgia, that there's any kind of kids deciding to go to Georgia Tech over, for Georgia. You're recruiting to Atlanta, which is a city where college kids would theoretically love to be. I don't know if he would go, but that seems like a no-brainer. Obviously, the Atlanta Falcons connection back in the day, the Atlanta Braves with Deion. I mean, Georgia Tech just seems like it makes a ton of sense for Deion. Auburn, look, Auburn's going to move on for Brian Harsin. If I were Auburn, I probably would want to go. I don't know if they could get Lane Kiffin to make the Tommy Tuberville-style move and just shift over from Oxford. But if I'm Auburn, I'm trying to invest in the next coaching hire for a post-Nick Saban era. So I'd be inclined to go kind of young and just let somebody start to work to build a program. So I don't know how many years you guys think Nick Saban's going to continue to coach, but that's what I would be, kind of focused on if I were Auburn at this stage.
All right, he is Clay Travis. You can read him at Outkick. Follow him at Clay Travis. See him on Fox Sports. Clay, thank you for the time. Always great talking with you.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me. Thanks a lot.
All right, Clay with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Yeah, more on that Georgia Tech job away from Deion Sanders after Brownie tells us about the great folks at Wayne's, reminding you that the temperatures dropped today, but it's time to think about your lawn for 2023 and a lot more.
How good did it feel, though?
It was 48 for me, so I'm not a cold weather guy.
Well,
I like it when
you came in here at 4:30.
No, when I walked outside at 6 a.m., it was 48.
58 for me, and it felt good.
I felt phenomenal at the bus stop. 866 Wayne's 1 is the number.
I drove in from Denver this morning.
866 Wayne's 1. Use the code TNR when you're talking to them about Envirolawn. And now let me tell you what Envirolawn is. As Jim just mentioned, it's easy to think, hey, temperatures are cooling off, fall is here, I don't have to worry about my yard until spring. Well, that's true if you want your yard to look bad in spring. But if you want the yard of the month in spring and summer, you do it right now in the fall. It's called the proper shutdown of your lawn. You got to make sure you get the proper nutrients into the soil and roots and the pre-emergent so that your yard looks great in spring and summer. The way you do that is you get on Envirolawn with Wayne's. 866 Wayne's 1, 866 Wayne's is the number 1. Use the code TNR. Your first month of Envirolawn is absolutely free with that code TNR. 866 Wayne's 1.
Okay, Georgia Tech, I didn't realize this when it was all going down, but they fired their AD too, Todd Stansberry.
Cleaned him out.
So Brent Key's going to take over as the interim. Ties at Alabama and UCF.
Trustful native.
But there's another name that we maybe should bring up as well. Remember when Marshall beat Notre Dame? Charles Huff, who worked in Tuscaloosa for a while. He's another name on Bruce Feldman's list.
Boy, they've been bad since that game, though. That's the problem.
So, too, is Jamie Chadwell.
Big game for him this weekend.
Coastal Carolina's coach, who plays sort of a modernized triple option offense.
Yeah,
if they want to go back in that direction when they were comfortable with Bobby Johnson's old school triple option.
They got tired of that. But I think there are certain schools that should look at the Service Academy model and be like, it's going to be tough for us to recruit guys that can compete with the Clemsons in this case, the Clemsons. We're just not going to be able to recruit that type of athlete. So we got to level the playing field somehow. How do we do it? Well, let's develop a system kind of like Wake has done and Coastal has done.
Yeah, but still, that's a system where you can get skill guys in. I mean, you look at what Sam Hartman's doing.
Yeah.
And you look at what Grayson McCall is
That's
doing.
right.
I mean, these guys are going to play in the NFL. I thought what was interesting was I saw Jamie Chadwell. I'm looking at a list right here. Number 2 on the list, Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien's name has been mentioned for this job, which Alabama fans, I think, would sign Coach O'Brien right up for.
A couple of things. So he worked from 95 to 2002 at Georgia Tech. So he's got familiarity there. My question to you guys, what's the better position, the offensive coordinator at Alabama or the head coach at Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech job is a tough job.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, depends on what Bill O'Brien wants to do.
But I would tell myself, if Wake can have success in the ACC, I can go to Georgia Tech and have success.
Yeah. Craig's right. I said Bobby Johnson. It was Paul Johnson.
Yes, it was.
At Georgia Tech. I thought we had an understanding. If I make a slip up like that, you correct me instantly.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
But if you did say Bobby Johnson, Paul Johnson was the guy.
Yeah, Paul Johnson.
Well, earlier you said Josh McDaniel instead of your head coach, Mike McDaniels.
Yeah.
I didn't.
About his own coach?
Yeah.
Well, earlier you left the toilet seat up in the bathroom.
But one other name that Bruce mentioned down at the very bottom, he did hot names, and then he mentioned the 3 coordinators like Todd Monken, Bill O'Brien. Then at the very bottom, if Georgia Tech wanted to take a flyer on a program builder, providing that his back is fixed and he's not in any pain anymore, he threw out the name Bill Clark.
Well, I think if you look at Bill Clark, and I think he'll coach again. I do. If you look at a guy like Bill Clark and Bill O'Brien, 2 things they have in common, which I think would make them appealing to Georgia Tech, is both of them coach through just the most unimaginable obstacles that you could coach through and had success. For Bill O'Brien, obviously, he was coaching a team that had gone through one of the worst scandals we've ever seen in the history of sports and was badly hamstrung by the NCAA and somehow managed to parlay that into an NFL head coaching job. Bill Clark, everybody around here knows what he fought through. I mean, if you think your job's tough, you look at those 2 guys, they've had tough jobs.
The Penn State scandal was disgusting, one of the worst we've ever seen. But it still was Penn State. What Bill Clark did at UAB.
It's crazy.
To be able to bring this thing back, which, by all accounts, I would have thought it would still be dead in 2022. Like, there's no football, and now they're thriving.
But do you think Bill Clark could work at a place like Auburn or Georgia Tech?
I think
Be honest. He's a nice guy. We love him and everything.
I love Coach Clark. I think more so Georgia Tech.
I think he could. Yeah, more so Georgia Tech.
I think the Auburn job's a little big for him.
Yeah, I think Georgia Tech, he can make this thing work out.
Yeah. I mean, I think Georgia Tech and UAB have a lot in common, don't they? I mean, it's not the easiest job in the world to win at either one of those 2 places. Coach Clark, again, has made you forget how easy it was or how difficult it was to win there. Urban campuses.
Yeah, and no buzz about the program.
Not a ton of buzz about the program. I mean, there's some commonality between those 2, I think.
All right. Georgia Tech's got an opening. So does Arizona State. So does Nebraska, even though, we're early in the season, that many job openings through 4 weeks. Week 5 is coming up. Later, at the top of the hour, we'll do our upset alert. And don't forget, on Thursday night, it's Bud Light game night. This week, we're at the Steel Gastro Pub down at the Lakeview District in Birmingham. If you don't know where that is, it's the Lakeview District over there. How's the best way to describe it? What's over there? Our friends at Slice Pizza, the original location of Slice. Innisfree is down there.
It's across the street from Jack Brown.
St. Vincent's Hospital.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all down in that area.
Same city as Protective Stadium.
Yeah.
St. Vincent's
Same state as
way
Alabama.
closer. You could walk there from St. Vincent's.
Do you ever walk to a hospital?
No, I said from St. Vincent's you could walk to where we're going to be.
I used to. I mean, both of my kids were born in St. Vincent, so I used to go over to Lakeview because I spent a lot of time at the hospital.
Yeah, so Lakeview District's where we are this weekend. Just throw it in your GPS. It'll get you there. It's the Steel Gastro Pub Bud Light game night coming up this Thursday night, 5 to 7. Come hang out with us. Have a cold Bud Light with us. We'll have Bud Light specials for you all night. And if you can't make it, if you're watching anywhere in the country, we'll have a special Ask Us Anything show about the big games coming up on Thursday and the weekend and anything else in life. 5 to 6 Central happening this weekend. When we come back, more football conversation, including Connor O'Gara's story today. Is Alabama ripe for an upset this weekend? We'll talk about that next right here on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Holly Mack Wilson just sold the Johnsons a new home. Not a house, a home. She helped them put a swing in the backyard, helped move the grill to the back patio, and watched as the Johnsons put their great-grandmother's piano in the foyer. A house is a dwelling. A home is a place filled with love and memories. Call Holly Mack Wilson, your Tuscaloosa Keller Williams Realtor, 205-901-9446, or check out our website, hollymackhomes.com, and let Holly Mack Wilson help you find your dream home where you can make your own memories.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short-notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Culver's could have only started in Wisconsin.
Hi, welcome to Culver.
Just ask our team member Sarah.
When you order a Culver's Butterburger, you're never just a customer. You're a guest in our home. It's why we cook each Butterburger to order just for you, right down to getting the perfect sear on the beef. That extra care may be a small town thing, but it's big time important to us.
Let us serve you with a smile that stretches from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
In a word, it's chaos. You'll have to see it to believe it. Whoever said that must have been talking about Talladega. It's a place where chaos mixes with speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other.
What a wild finish.
NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, October 1st and 2nd.
Bubba Wallace, the winner at Talladega.
Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting nextround.store.
Start your day on our website, nextroundlive.com. The morning rounds give you the top links to the stories you need to see before going to lunch with your buddies. At nextroundlive.com, you can also watch and listen to the show live, or download our top podcast and shop in the Next Round store. New arrivals, new downloads, new shows, new contests, all on one website, nextroundlive.com. Make it your homepage, nextroundlive.com.
Hey everyone, John Lunsford here, and make sure to join Jerry Young and myself every Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. for Next Round Preps. It's an in-depth look at all the various big high school football games going on across the state. We'll recap the week before and we'll preview the week ahead. Plus, we'll talk bracketology, recruiting, and other big headlines across all high school sports. That's every Thursday during football season at 1 p.m. on YouTube, nextroundlive.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Summer means cookouts and spending time with the family and friends in the backyard. Ryan Brown here. Nothing can ruin a party like mosquitoes. Wayne's environmentally safe Mosquito Plus solution safely and effectively eliminates mosquitoes. Plus, they provide protection against fleas and ticks, helping keep your outdoor entertainment spaces safe, comfortable, and pest-free for your family and your four-legged family members. Wayne's has turned my backyard oasis into my happy place. They can do the same for you. Give them a call, 866-WAYNES-1, or call Waynes.com.
All right, back with you on the next round. Top of the hour, we'll do upset alerts. In just a second, we'll talk about Alabama. Should they be on alert as they go and play Arkansas this weekend? Our friends at Backyard Adventure want to make sure that you're enjoying. One thing I've learned, and you know this if you're older now, if your kids are older, but when you're a young parent, you don't realize it, even though everybody who's old like me tells you it's going to fly by. Right, and it does fly by. Brown, you've got
a buddy.
You've got one that's a senior now in high school, and one that's very young.
Yesterday.
It just flies by. LT's, we got one in college. You know it flies by. Trust us, it flies by. That's when you want to maximize the time you have with your kids when they're at that special age, when they want to play with you and go in the backyard and just have fun and laugh no matter what it is. How easy is it to go in that backyard, your backyard, where you don't have to drive to a park or go to the grandparents' house or somewhere else? That's where Backyard Adventure can make your backyard the place to have those special times. Quality 100% cedar in those Backyard Adventure playgrounds. Lifetime warranties. They'll come and assemble it for you. If you're wondering, man, will it fit in my backyard? What do I want it to look like? Do they all look the same? No, they don't. In fact, they have a 3D designer. They'll design the backyard playground for you to meet your specifications and to fit in your backyard. They've got landscaping, the maintenance programs that keep it looking great, all that at one place, backyardalabama.com, backyardalabama.com. Imagine waking up Christmas morning and they know that Santa loves the family so much that they put a Backyard Adventure playground in the backyard there. Also, they've got the alley-oop trampolines, the goal setter basketball goals. Again, the website is backyardalabama.com, or you can call them up, 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386, backyardalabama.com. Should Alabama be on upset alert? Connor O'Gara is asking, is Alabama ripe for an upset this week at Arkansas? I'll start with you. Is Alabama ripe for an upset? Is there a path to victory for Arkansas this weekend?
I've got an upset alert coming up, but yes, I think there is a path to victory. You know, this is...
You put this at 15% yesterday.
Yeah, look, I mean, Alabama's the much better team, but Arkansas... They've got enough of a roster that, especially at home in this situation, 230 CBS. I mean, this wasn't an easy game last year. Again, in Sam Pittman's second year, this is his best roster. They're coming off, I don't want to call it a devastating loss, a very disappointing loss, especially the way the game ended against Texas A&M.
Like K.J. Jefferson's going in for what looks like it's going to be a back-breaking touchdown in Arkansas. Arkansas was the better team.
It's going to be 21-7 at that point, and A&M's offense does not have 14 more points.
Yeah, and it's a 14-point swing because it bounces out fumble, and they do the scoop, and then they hand it off, and he goes the other way for a touchdown. Game-changing play there.
The game's over if they go up 21-7 at half. And they still had that opportunity, and as you guys pointed out, if that's played in Fayetteville, that's a field goal. And instead, it goes off the upright. They lose
a wild
that game by 2. K.J. Jefferson still played really good football. 171 passing yards, 105 rushing yards. To date, he will be the best quarterback that Alabama's faced. Quinn Ewers looked really good early on, didn't get to finish that game. But you saw what a quality quarterback was able to do against that defense. I think with the balance of this offense for Arkansas, with Raheem Sanders running the football and what they can do up front defensively, disrupting that Alabama offensive line, I think Arkansas, as they did last year, especially in the second half, can give Alabama all they want.
Who is the better run team in this game?
Arkansas.
The better run team is Arkansas.
By how big of a margin would you think? I mean,
I just haven't seen anything consistent.
Yeah.
I mean,
would you say significantly better? Significantly better.
I would say it is part of the DNA of what Arkansas is, and it is no longer part of the DNA of what Alabama is. It used to be.
Yeah, I'd say this. I think that they've identified what they do as far as Raheem Sanders, KJ Jefferson, this on some designed runs. Bryce Young obviously has a lot of ability, but it's more improvised. And then I don't think you've really figured out who your primary is right now for Alabama. Is it Jace McClellan, who leads the team in rushing? Will it be Jahmyr Gibbs? We know it's Raheem Sanders for Arkansas.
Arkansas has rushed for 35 more yards than Alabama.
Overall total?
Total for the season, 4 games. Arkansas averages 4.8 per carry. Alabama averages 7.3. Not even close.
Yeah, Alabama, I think they've got 11 players that have attempts, and nobody averages under 5.9.
Arkansas has scored 9 rush touchdowns. Alabama has scored 8. Arkansas runs for 243 a game. Bama runs for 235. The numbers tell me that Arkansas tries it more than Alabama, but they're not more successful in doing it.
Okay, here's what I would say, though.
That's what the numbers tell you.
You tell me who Alabama's played.
No, for Arkansas, they played Cincinnati, South Carolina,
and
Texas
A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They've played better defenses. I do not disagree with you at all there. Yeah.
And so my point there was going to be Alabama gets up. They're able to run the football in the second half.
Yeah, we compare those Arkansas numbers to just the Texas numbers for Alabama.
Okay. Alabama's rush offense against Texas?
Yeah.
Alabama, that game, 24 carries, 161, 6.7 per carry, and a touchdown.
Yes. Take the McClellan run away.
Well, I mean, again,
I'm just saying.
I know. But, I mean, you want Arkansas's worst day? Is that what you want?
Yeah. But see,
comparison?
like Pritchard Law says, Alabama hasn't really tried to have a run game yet. So that's why I'm looking at the stats. That's what I was saying. The DNA, it's not part of Alabama's DNA anymore.
I backed you up on that.
And it is part of Arkansas's
I backed
DNA.
you up on that. Arkansas's got 200 carries so far this season. Alabama's got 128. So, I mean, that's a significant difference.
Yeah, a lot of that's milking the clock in the second half of these blowout
for
games.
Alabama, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. But for Arkansas as well, my question to you is, give me the run defense they've played that's as good as Alabama's. Probably Texas A&M.
Cut 6, Rockstar. That's exactly what Nick Saban talked about. We carried it live here, but it's worth bringing back part of this discussion here. Nick Saban yesterday in Tuscaloosa talking about just, how important his run defense will be this week. Here's the coach.
What would you say have been some of the keys to success for the run defense through the first 4 games?
Well, you got to beat blockers on the line of scrimmage, and everybody's got to do their job and fit the runs right. And so far we've done that fairly well. But the challenges in this week's game are going to be far greater than anything we faced to this point because they have a really good scheme. There are a lot of quarterback runs involved in it. So it's going to take a great week of preparation for us to be able to play the runs well in this week.
Yeah, no. So now he's saying this is going to be their greatest run test so far because they have a lot of great schemes. He's very complimentary of the games ahead than he is in the rearview mirror, but Alabama's biggest feather in their cap is how they control Bijan Robinson.
Zero doubt.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Bijan was a non-factor. He really was.
Non-factor.
Well, I mean,
and Toa told us on the show that Pete Golding said one guy can't beat us. It's Bijan Robinson. We're going to let them beat us over the top. If they do it, hey, God bless them. And Ewers had success early.
He did.
But Bijan was taken out of that game. But the difference is KJ Jefferson can beat you with legs or arm.
Yes, since that Bama game, Robinson has gone for 183, 3 touchdowns against UTSA, who don't get caught up in the name. That's a good team, UTSA. Team. And then at Texas Tech Saturday, just 16 carries, but still had 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had the key fumble in overtime that, unfortunately cost him a shot to win. That's very uncharacteristic of him. But Robinson has been good since that Bama game. When Nick Saban says that, I look at that and I'm like, I don't think Arkansas is a bigger run challenge. Now, he's the coach. He knows more than me. I don't think Arkansas seems to be the bigger run challenge than stopping Bijan Robinson to me.
Yeah. More on the Bama-Arkansas game in just a second after Brownie tells you about the great folks at Greystone Chiropractic. It's going to be one of those physical games in Fayetteville that you'll have to get that back straightened back out afterwards.
That's right. They have treated Dr. Lee, big Dolphins fan, by the way, has treated my family. So I am telling you, you can trust him with your family as well. I have neck issues.
He keeps my spine aligned, keeps my body loose, keeps me feeling great. They've got that Element Wellness Center there that has things like cryotherapy, IV vitamin therapy, infrared sauna, red light therapy, holistic nutrition consulting, all those things at Greystone Chiropractic. See more, GreystoneChiropractor.com in Tattersall Park, just off 280 and 119, 981-8090, 981-8090, GreystoneChiropractor.com.
DJ Dale's on the defensive line for Alabama. He eats up the blocks, and those linebackers feast on the running backs and the quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what defensive lineman does. DJ Dale had this to say about Henry To'oTo'o yesterday when it comes to his just his IQ calling the defense for the Crimson Tide.
Henry To'oTo'o, I mean, what stands out about his ability to understand what the offense is trying to do?
That's a tough question, but I would say everything. Henry's a genius. He's, calling things out before the play starts. He's, giving you tips and keys and everything throughout the week to look for, what they run out of certain formations and everything like that. So, Henry really, he knows it. He dials it up, and he's a genius.
DJ Dale called you a genius. When do you consider yourself a genius? And two, just how much pride do you actually take in your ability to run the defense?
Damn, I didn't even know he called me a genius. That's what's up. Appreciate that, DJ. Shoot. I mean, it's just a film study that I do. I spend a lot of time, watching the opponent, trying to see little tendencies, seeing where the Y is located, how deep the running back is. Little stuff like that, I try to help the guys out, trying to make our team the most successful team that it can be. Not only myself, but, I want to see everybody else win. I want to see everybody else be the best player that they can be. And just knowing the scheme, the playbook. As long as you play within the playbook, that makes you a good player. You got to be a genius to play for Coach Saban. You got to.
Well, he's had a good year, too, I think.
He's had a great year.
I mean, he is all over the field for Alabama.
So far, so good for To'oTo'o as a genius there. He and DJ Dale talking about the trip to Fayetteville. They'll have to be on their game this weekend to slow down Rocket. What's Rocket Sanders, right?
Yeah, Raheem Sanders. Yeah.
Raheem Sanders. I think somebody called him Rocket in the broadcast. So is that going to stick, you think? Rocket Sanders.
I mean, it could. Look, you've got a...
It may have been Joe Tess. So I don't know if
so
it'll
you're not
stick.
going to like it then. You don't like Tess.
I think Nick Saban needs to be asked about the other Sanders, Trey Sanders, one more time.
The other Sanders, one more time.
Drew Sanders.
Yeah.
If you're going to mess up, I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
Drew Sanders.
Drew Sanders. Yeah.
Through an hour and 40 minutes, we've all butchered one,
That's right.
one first name.
The day is still young.
Rockstar, screw something up for us.
Have you seen the new Caleb Sandler show movie? The guy from The Watering Boy?
I am looking forward to that movie Amsterdam. Is anybody else?
Yeah, I can't really figure out what it's about, but I like the cast.
Yeah,
I would love to know the cast budget.
Yeah,
it's got a great ensemble cast, and I just wonder how many, like Robert De Niro probably is in there for 5 minutes. Your girl Taylor Swift is probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, but Christian Bale and Margot Robbie are in there a lot. They got to be, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
Chris Rock's in it.
Yeah, I know, which is wild. But I mean, Bell and Margot Robbie are at the top of their game. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
John David Washington.
Would you agree with that as far as like respected actors go?
Yeah.
Did you see Eddie Vedder in a cameo in it?
I did not.
I'm kidding, Rock. So I'm just trying to draw you back in, man.
I didn't. I'm not as obsessed as you think I am.
Yes.
I'm really not.
Black, track 3, cut 1.
That's track 5.
Hey, speaking of Taylor Swift, we just assumed that she was going to be taken to the Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah.
And Rihanna got
Rihanna.
Taylor was like, no, thank you. I'm good that day.
Yeah. Well, she does have new music coming out and probably a tour starting next year.
What I saw was that she's trying to get all the rights back to all her music that she had
Before she does the Super Bowl?
Before she does the Super Bowl.
That's probably smart. Yeah.
Because the downloads and buys go way up after the Super Bowl.
It's incredible.
What's
she doesn't need that yet either. She may want to wait until she takes a dip in her career.
So this is the ex-manager that had rights to it. I mean, what do you think he's made off of this?
Oh, there is no telling.
So much that she's re-recorded the albums.
Yeah. Taylor's version.
Yeah. The Rihanna is really, I love a lot of her music, but a lot of it is like, really, really hard sexual innuendo. It'll be interesting to see which song she picks.
I don't know if you saw J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah.
I don't think they're worried about sexual innuendo.
I was about to ask you what the innuendo was in Umbrella.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No, but S&M and some of those are, I mean, not much innuendo to that.
That's really point blank saying.
We're going to bring out the whips and chains at halftime, man. It'll be interesting.
What was your position yesterday?
the Crouching Lotus.
Crouching Lotus.
Which I swear I just made up.
Oh, yeah.
I just made it up. May have practiced practiced it one. No, I'm just kidding. When we come back, we will talk more college football with you. An upset alert is at the top of the hour. The show being brought to you in part today by our great friends at Odie's, where we're one day. I mean, this Wednesday night trivia rolls back around almost weekly, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does, Dunaway. Every Wednesday night, as a matter of fact. Look, if you're looking for something fun to do, come join us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It's a ton of fun. Odie's Team Trivia, me, Rocky, Will Haver. Get there a little early. Enjoy that Rodney Davis food that he's been cooking up for over 30 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers. My personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich. Fantastic patio to enjoy this fall weather with ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. It's Birmingham Institution, Odie's Tavern, located in Crestline Village.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Amherst, Bromberg's, Bryant Bank, ERA King, Gutter Cap, Hemp Hill Services, Legacy Federal Credit Union, Mortgage Right, Nichols Outfitters, Storm Restoration Roofing, Wayne's Pest Control, Way to Wellness. Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. What do all these brands have in common? Well, not only are they all Next Round sponsors, but they are all also BBB accredited businesses. BBB accredited businesses voluntarily hold themselves to higher standards and believe in a fair and equitable marketplace. Do you want to join this winning team of top local brands? Are ethics and principal business standards important to you and your business? You want access to exclusive BBB accredited business benefits? Here's a hint. The answer is yes. So join the ranks of these businesses and more than 4,000 others in Central and South Alabama that have pledged their commitment to a fair and equitable marketplace. Apply today for BBB accreditation by calling 205-558-2201. Mention promo code BETTERBIZ for a special offer for Next Round listeners and earn the sign of a better business.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor, to tell you about my friends at Wayne. Summer is ending, which means fall is here. Fall means football, but don't forget about that yard. My yard is looking fantastic thanks to our friends at Wayne's. Summer ending and lawns soon be heading into dormancy. Yards of the month are made in the fall during proper shutdown of the growing season. It is important to get the correct nutrients and pre-emergent in the turf and root system to ensure a weed-free, lush lawn next summer. Call 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com. First month free on the EnviroLawn service from our friends at Wayne's.
Before we bring in Brett on the phones at 205-734-0923, 734-0923, let me tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who asked me about Way to Wellness. I'm always amazed, first thing they say, hey, does it really work? Well, yeah, it really works. I mean, yes, it works. And it's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life was losing 45 pounds. And more important than the weight loss, it helped with my blood pressure, my cholesterol levels, and everything that's important to keep you healthy. And that's what you get with Leslie and her board-certified team over at Way to Wellness. Here's the website where you can take a free look and just check it all out for yourself. aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. Or you can just go by to see them here in the Birmingham area, Way to Wellness. There's an individual plan. Everyone's different. Mine was very easy. Yours will be too. They have no contracts, no sign-up fees. It means you can drop it if you want to. They got a free consultation. You can go meet with Leslie and learn about it without even I think, get a sample of the food without even having to sign up. It's all right there. Our friends at Way to Wellness, aplanforme.com. It's a journey to healthy living. One developing news in football. Everybody in Tampa is moving to Miami this week, it appears like, with Hurricane Ian heading for Tampa. Saturday's East Carolina at USF game has now been moved to the Florida Atlantic Stadium in Boca Raton on the other side of the coast and a little further south. Meanwhile, as Brown said, South Carolina State, South Carolina moved to Thursday night. Everyone in the path and the aftermath after Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the rain, thinking about moving the games. And I don't know if it's true or not, but they said if the Buccaneers moved their game with the Chiefs, that it would be at a neutral site in the Midwest.
So they can't play it in Kansas City?
Well, why would we want to play on their home stadium?
Well, I mean,
but anyway, in the Midwest, you're still going to get.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you going to play it? You'd rather play at a lesser facility?
Don't you think
Legion Field?
Don't you think that
very Midwest?
Don't you think that it's always the Cowboys Stadium is always the default
Jerry
stadium
World,
since Jerry owns it? If
isn't
it's free,
like there's always isn't there always a fallback?
There's one
Super Bowl plan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I assume it's always.
I always assume it's Jerry World. Yeah.
I do too.
I just wonder what's going to happen with, and I know somebody referenced this in the chat room earlier, NC State Clemson.
Yeah. Right now they're playing it on Saturday, probably in a deluge.
Yeah, in a rainstorm.
I mean, that's the prime ABC game, so it makes it a little tricky to move, right?
Hey, Rusty wants to know if you have clap-on, clap-off lights.
I do not, no.
He said you had a Rihanna's bedroom playlist.
You know, I do, but I have so many playlists. It's just called Rihanna, I think. Or it may be called
I've never heard Dunaway described as that, by the way.
What?
What?
We're talking.
Let's go to Brett, who's somewhere on the road in America. Great truck driver.
Hey, Brett.
Good morning. I'll give you three guesses where I'm at there, Jimmy D.
Today, I think you are in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, you wasn't watching the chat first thing this morning. Okay, that's strike one. Brownie, your turn.
I am going to guess Everett, Washington.
Strike two. Lance.
Mesa, Arizona.
Damn closer than the other two. I'm actually in, ironically, New Mexico.
Oh,
how about that?
There you go,
a rare
Brett.
call from Brett in New Mexico.
Welcome home.
Albuquerque?
No, I'm about 30 miles east of Deming. I'm headed out to L.A.
Well,
hey, how realistic is the movie Breakdown?
Great film, by the way.
Breakdown?
Yeah.
Breakdown?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No.
Kurt Russell.
Well, though, you watch it and get back to us.
Here's a shock. There's a serial killer in it.
That's right. LT likes it. Somebody gets beheaded.
Well, it's a trucker. He's a trucker.
I mean, I remember watching White Line Fever back in the 70s with was it Jan Michael Vincent or something like that?
Wow. Okay, how realistic is maximum overdrive? When the trucks just take over.
Depending on where you are, it could be very realistic. I mean, I just passed a truck that was sitting perpendicular in the median between the highway, and I was like, are you making a U-turn? And I was like, no, he looked like he lost control and overcorrected because the front end of his truck was all messed up. But he was sitting on all 18 wheels, so I have to give him props for that.
What else?
So,
what do you have for us, Brett, before we get to the top of the hour?
Let's jump ahead to the end of January, and Bill O'Brien has taken a head coaching job. Who could John foresee coming in as the next OC for Alabama?
Well, I think the line. Yeah. Did you have one you were thinking of, Brad?
No, I can't think of anybody because, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who he's got on the staff as far as analysts, this or that or whatever. I don't know any up-and-comers or anything like that.
Well, I think the line would start at the door to begin with.
Well, no doubt. I think an interesting name would have been, until you watch the regression of Tyler Van Dyke, Josh Gaddis, who was on that staff, went to Michigan as their OC, won a Broyles Award. Now he's with Mario Cristobal at Miami.
Yeah, and it's easier apparently to get a head coaching job as an Alabama coordinator than somewhere else. That would be interesting. Brett, thank you, man.
I had thought about Gaddis, but didn't give it a whole lot of thought.
Yeah, Brett, thanks. I'll tell you a name to keep an eye on in the future moving forward. I think he's very well thought of in Tuscaloosa. Is A.J. Milwee. He is with Sark at Texas right now and was credited as one of the main reasons the Mannings chose Texas.
Yeah,
so he can recruit.
You and I talked about that. I forgot may have been an athletic story on the Mannings that we were talking about with A.J. Milwee and what the younger Manning ended up having a really good relationship, good whiteboard time, drawing plays up together. All right, top of the hour here. Our upset alerts coming up on the other side. What else is happening in the show? Brought to you in our Michelson look ahead. John Parker Wilson is with us at 11:45 in studio today to talk about the Crimson Tide's trip to Fayetteville. And then in the final hour at 12:35, Jason Campbell is back on the show. We'll talk to him about Auburn's quarterback struggles, and we'll go back to his pro team, the Raiders, and ask him what's wrong with the Raiders. Are they all of a sudden are they busting it for Bryce? Are they CJing it for Stroud? Whatever they're doing, are they looking for the quarterback of the future? The Raiders suck right now. It's all brought to you by our Michelson Look Ahead.
To find out if LASIK is right for you, call Michelson Laser Vision today, 969-8100. It's a simple phone call. You have nothing to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. If you wear contacts, you wear glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. Tell you guys my story all the time. 20 years ago, I went in, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After I got the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the call today to Michelson Laser Vision, 969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you, and they're going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All the stories important to us are in one place. Catch the morning rounds each weekday at nextroundlive.com.
ERA King has the new Guaranteed Move program, which lets you compare instant offers with open market offers so you can choose how and when to sell your home. You can close with a quick cash offer, no showings, and no open houses, or you can explore multiple offers through a traditional listing. Available only through ERA King. Guaranteed Move puts you in control. Visit movewithking.com or text MOVE to 35620. To learn more, that's MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35620.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
The only place to get the best gear for game day is the Pants Store. 5 great locations in Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. You can also order at pantsstore.com and follow the Pants Store on social media. Game day hats, all your Yeti accessories, sunglasses, and game day polos from Antigua, Taylor and Mick, Johnny O, and Gentile. And guys, trust me, this is where your daughters and wife want to shop because of all the in-style fashions made especially for them. It's the Pants Store, Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and coming soon to Hoover and Auburn.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
This is your home. You want a brighter future and a community that's united by action and commitment. And united starts with you. We are United Way. And for almost 100 years, we have served people from all walks of life. That's our united commitment. United starts with you. Give to United Way of Central Alabama.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures. Don't let a roof problem disrupt your football Saturday or Sunday. Call Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing, locally owned at 205-542-3531. Greg wants to give you a free, no-cost inspection. Free, no cost, no obligation, 205-542-3531. He can also pressure wash your metal roofing. It's easy to see why his company's so successful. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and insurance companies trust him. You should too. 205-542-3531 or just look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Halfway through the show, this hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, ready to go for another football weekend. Finished last night with a Dallas win over the Giants, 23-16. Former Alabama star Travion Diggs with another interception there.
Boy, he is boomer bust, isn't he?
He is.
It's a pick, and he gives up a ton of yards, but man, he makes a ton of picks.
But Troy talked about all the great ones were that way.
Yeah.
You jump cuts and you film study. That's how you make all the interceptions.
He had one. He had one early in the game that literally went right through his hands. I don't know, and it was going to be a pick six too.
It was. So that ended the football weekend. We'll crank it back up on Thursday night. A lot of games being moved. Champy's never moves. It's right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. A perfect place for lunch or dinner today. Swing by there. Check out the menu at champyschicken.com. Order ahead, too. Use the easy pickup window or go in and see Sterling and the crew there. Enjoy the place where you find your blues, brews, and bird. It's Champy's Chicken. Those Mississippi Delta tamales unbelievable chicken fingers, the best I've ever tasted. They're hand cut, they're huge. That 4 chicken finger basket will fill you up, and you'll have some to take home as well. Fried chicken plates and all the wonderful sides and the specialty desserts that are made specifically for Sterling and the folks at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Mentioned some of the games that are being moved, some games that are still out there that we'll have to keep an eye on, but already on the move this weekend is the South Carolina State-South Carolina game, which is moved to Thursday night. East Carolina USF moved to Florida Atlantic Stadium in Boca. No decision yet on, let's see, Washington and Eastern Washington and Florida in Gainesville. SMU UCF plays in Orlando, so you got to think they would be under consideration. And then the big Wake Forest Florida State game in Tallahassee. That game could be under consideration to be moved or delayed to Sunday or maybe postponed until later in the year. So something to keep an eye on with Hurricane Ian moving through the area. Also, T.J. Finley back at practice for Auburn, according to Brian Harsin. Auburn starting center Tate Johnson is out 6 to 8 weeks. Boise State quarterback Hank Bachmeier is transferring, he says, in a release yesterday. And Jimmy Johnson is retiring from racing. Elsewhere in college football, who brought up the composure card with Kirby Smart? Was that one of our guests? Was it one of you guys on the show? Were we talking about it off air?
I think we were talking about off air with Scott.
Yeah, Forrester, tell us what the microphone for Forrester back row. What is the composure card? What is it?
Apparently, it's a card that Georgia's coaching staff keeps in their back pocket as a reminder to keep their composure during games.
We need that. We need that up here occasionally.
So it's just like
occasionally you could pull out the Rockstar if you'll keep your composure.
Does
please.
Ken Dorsey need one?
Ken Dorsey.
Tom Brady need one?
He needs a placard.
So they pull out the card and show it to each other like in soccer, or they just have it in their back pocket for them to sort of touch and pull out and think to themselves, meditate a little bit, count to 10.
Yeah, it seems to be a tangible reminder.
A tangible reminder.
Keep your composure, Jim.
Yeah. All right. Here's Kirby Smart on that card that Forrester is so eloquently speaking about.
Can you explain what is the composure card? Is that something that they give to you? What is
composure card? Oh, goodness. The water knocked over. We keep our composure card in our back pocket, so we can apply it anytime we want. And we work and exercise that muscle all the time, and it hasn't happened this year. It got to happen several times today, and I thought the kids got to flex that muscle and use it. You don't get a muscle stronger without using it, right? So we certainly got to use it today. I probably need to work on mine for sure.
Oddly,
what size you want to do? You want to do a 3x5? No, 5x7.
Yeah, make that composure. You want the size of a playing card? Nope.
My God.
Business card? Nope.
Oddly, if you'll play it again, right as Kirby is about to describe it. Well, first of all, she asks, what is the composure card? He answers, it's the composure card, obviously. And then,
I'm going to be honest with you. I won a national championship. They came and tried to sell me on this. I was buying everything. What the hell?
Yep.
I bought it.
Yeah, and
what is the composure card? Is that something that they give to you? What is
composure card? Oh,
yeah. And right as he's about to describe it, he does something that could have caused him to lose his composure. He spills a bottle of water, but he handles it perfectly. Why, Jim?
Because he's reaching for what seems to be a Waffle House-sized menu in his back pocket.
Composure card in our back pocket, so we can apply it anytime
It's so
we
big
want.
I can't get it out.
Boom!
Look how he's got to get readers for that.
No, he
Detailed,
can't.
isn't it?
He can't read it. He can't read it. Some manager puts it in his back pocket, I guarantee you.
The composure card.
It sounds pretty dumb, to be honest with you.
You think Jimbo Fisher's got that at all his play calling sheets?
And that's a butt poker because you can tell it's laminated. So that's gonna stick you.
Yep.
Holes in your pocket too. You're gonna lose your freaking
Well,
wallet when you go home.
Hey, and it's as bigger than his pocket because it took him forever to dig it out too.
That may be the worst coaching decision Kirby's made since he got to Athens. The composure card.
They needed it Saturday. He said against Kent State.
Okay. We're going to do the upset alert in just a second. We got caught up with football. We didn't get to our viewing menu, so we're going to do that before our upset alert. It's brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. What Rockstar is watching tonight, our friends at New Life, ready for the next great moment in college athletics.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, our friends at New Life Art, they have got Alabama-Arkansas special, just in the game week special from New Life Art. They're proud to offer Daniel Moore's classic painting, Top of the Line, is limited edition canvases. Order now to secure this edition to your national championship collection. Top of the Line features Alabama running back Major Ogilvie. leaping for a touchdown against the Arkansas Razorbacks during the 1980 Sugar Bowl. What size TV did you watch that one on?
That was about the same size as the composure card. Yeah.
Daddy.
And not in that much color.
This week only, get 20% off your top-of-the-line Canvas Edition framing. No code needed. Framing discount expires 10/3/22. Go to DanielMooreArt.com for more information.
I don't know if I've ever seen that Daniel Moore piece of work.
What are your opinions on Rob Zombie?
Indifferent.
I don't have a single opinion on Rob Zombie.
Don't really know who he is.
Well, he's releasing today on Netflix his recreation of the Munsters.
Oh, no. I hated the Monsters.
We watched the trailer. It looks like something. It looks god-awful, but it also looks like they gave him a $10,000 budget. It just looks so bad.
Like the Munsters Inc.?
No,
animated
no.
The
The
Munsters.
one Fred Gwynn was on.
No,
listen to us for laughing at that.
Herman Munster. Lily.
Yes.
Lily.
Oh,
Fred,
that one?
yeah, Fred Gwynn, right?
Yeah, Fred.
Monsters.
Wait, now I agree with LT. I mean, my grandmother, my nanny used to make these homemade. Used to make these homemade oatmeal cookies, and she'd burn them specifically for me. And I'd get off the bus at her house, and then I would go up, and there'd be several reruns that would be on television after school. It would either be Gilligan's Island,
which I could dig back in the day.
Popeye cartoons.
I never liked Popeye.
Olive oil wasn't that attractive.
You don't think so?
No, she
Well, I mean, Popeye wasn't exactly
Who
a
are we going to
looker.
cast for Olive Oil? Let's go Shelley Duvall.
Robin Williams.
No, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Gomer Pyle, whatever that was. That show, was it called Gomer Pyle?
Gomer Pyle USMC,
Okay.
I think, was the actual
Or
name.
the Munsters. And of those, I didn't like the Munsters
Yeah,
either.
the Monsters was terrible. And Addams Family I thought was awful.
Well, that's premiering tonight. I don't know if it's. I think it's a movie, Netflix original.
Which one's the Addams Family? Is that the one where he kisses up her arm?
I don't remember that. That's
50 Shades of Grey.
Morticia.
Yeah, where he always is like, ooh, Morticia.
Oh yeah, he does
kisses
that.
up the arm.
Yeah,
Ooh, Morticia.
I'm feeling a little creeping lotus.
Yeah.
Crouching lotus.
Creeping is even better.
Crouching lotus.
6 p.m. on Showtime Women. I didn't know there's a channel, but they're doing another thing. Oasis, Supersonic. This documentary on Oasis. I still haven't seen it. It's supposed to be really, really good.
It's on Showtime Women?
Yeah, Showtime Women.
A thing on Oasis?
Yes.
That's
It's called
weird.
Supersonic, and it's a documentary about their career and how they broke up and everything. And then 7:35 on FX movie from 1993. Get Off My Back, Quaylin. Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
Watched it with young Jack about a year ago.
What is he? He's a rock climber?
Yeah.
John Lithgow's a bad guy getting some buckets of cash, suitcases of cash. They're
Yeah,
scattered
and
across the
the
mountain.
hot heroine in it is Janine Turner.
Yeah.
Young
from
Jack,
Northern Exposure.
Young Jack is 15. He's seen more movies than Brown and me combined.
I would say that's true, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. All right, time for Upset Alert. All right, it is brought to you by our friends at Baumhauer's. You go,
standings.
We'll show the standings. Well, first we got to do the open.
The Baumhauer's Spotlight.
Sound the alarm. Woo-wee.
Yay, finally.
College
There we
football's upset alert.
Okay, so Baumhauer celebrating 40 years right here in the state of Alabama. The first to bring the delicious taste of wings to Alabama, to Tuscaloosa back in 1981, Wings and Things.
Explain to us how our listeners get involved.
Yes, so here's what we've got. We've got a bunch for lunch winners, and every week, correct me if I'm wrong, Lunsford, Brown's going to pick an upset. Dunaway's going to pick an upset. I'm going to pick an upset. Or you can go, D, nobody gets their upset pick right.
Correct. And if you pick it right, then you'll be the winner for that week.
So we're going to do that on the website.
We'll put all the winners in one pot. We'll draw one. They will get lunch for them and 5 others, a bunch for lunch kind of tailgate lunch. For
So
them in their
Upset
office.
Alert, you guys can play the
That's
home
right.
game.
You can
This
play
is
along.
awesome.
Yes, and the cool thing about this is once you win, if you are a weekly winner, we're going to put all the weekly winners in the pot, and we'll have the ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate winner, which will receive 2 tickets to the Iron Bowl and 2 passes to the Crimson Tide Sports Marketing Crimson Village
Holy
dinner.
crap.
Wow. So 2 tickets to the Iron Bowl and the dinner?
All from our friend Bob Baumhauer.
Look at old Bob. He's
thank
a
you.
Dolphin. He's 3-0 right now,
Thank
Lance.
you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
2 undefeated teams in the NFL.
All right. Standings. Where are we right now?
Oh, let's look at them. I'd like to see them, Jim, if I could.
Updated standings from Taylor in our social media and Forrester. Boom, here we go. Oh, there's a shift. Somebody has
hang
fallen to
on.
the bottom. Brown is 3-1.
Holy crap, 9 points?
9 points. That means every one he's hit has been maximum points.
So maximum is anything 7 or more, right?
And because he never needs the damn points.
6.5 or more, and they won outright to get that.
Rockstar, you laugh, but
don't you break character today.
LT has gone 1-3, but he finally hit the maximum this past week to get 3 points, jumping ahead of Jim, who is 2-2. But both of his have been just layups.
I am feeling it. I am seeing it. There were so many to pick from today. I had to pare it down. Yes.
Are you going to go first since you're on top?
No, I want to go last.
Okay, I'm going to go last. I'll go first since I'm on the bottom. It's really uncomfortable now after your creeping Lotus comment.
Now it is?
My drawing is not.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story behind my drawing.
Okay,
I'm sure there is.
Let's see. Okay. That's a blue banana.
Yeah, I'm hashtag BBN plus 6.5.
That's a squash.
I'm taking. Thank you for going at least in the vegetable department.
Yes. Eggplant.
I'm going with the Blue Banana Nation instead of Big Blue Nation. The Blue Banana Nation plus 6.5. Kentucky. Where are they in the AP rankings?
They're top 10.
Georgia's 1, Alabama 2, Ohio State 3, Michigan 4, Clemson 5, 6 is U.S. Kentucky's number 7 in America. And they're on the road at Ole Miss, that sleepy crowd there. 11 a.m. Lane's bitching at the Rebel Nation for not showing up. The students aren't staying late. They couldn't score in the second half against Tulsa. A hurricane in Tulsa. I mean, when do they get hurricanes in Tulsa? I digress. I go Kentucky getting 6.5.
Got some slight bruises on it, too.
Do I need them? Do I need those points?
Rockstar, does he need them?
Don't you take his stick. Don't you take his stick.
It's got warts on it.
I'm not
I
going to
told
take
you
them.
about the summer that I worked in produce in Vincent's. That's a squash.
It is a squash. I told him that.
It started out good. When you draw your banana, do you start at the bottom or the top? I started at the top, and it was really good.
You went for girth. You made up for that top portion.
He's going to say that he went to the bathroom to outline it.
What did the guy say?
Guy didn't have a steady hand, did he?
Give me the camera.
Hey. Why are you stealing my shtick, man?
What do you mean?
I
don't need them. I don't need them, Rocky.
Man, look at him.
Do I need them?
Hell no, you don't need those points.
I don't like this.
Okay, go ahead.
Just because I'm in the lead.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm going to go close to home here.
Close to home? This is a home game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for a lot of our viewers and listeners out there.
Oh, Lance, you're not going to do this.
It's actually 2:30 CBS.
Lance.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't draw that damn hog.
So you went with Piggly Wiggly?
Yeah. He's a mad pig.
This little pig is
Pig's going to get his mad on.
It looks like Lance is picking a low-rent barbecue joint to win.
This little piggy went to work.
You try to draw that damn hog.
Well, Brown could draw it because he starts drawing like at 8 in the morning.
Nothing bothers Dunaway more than the fact that I work ahead on this. And he's like, haven't even picked mine yet.
Yeah. I walked in at 8:30. I said, what are you doing in here by yourself? While LT and I are preparing a show in the back.
Yeah. He's over here.
He wasn't on it at 8:30?
Oh.
Yep. And you know what I just did?
Every
I just
week.
dropped it on my dang jeans and ruined it.
Hey, composure card.
That's about the size of it, those boards.
Yeah. Wait. Composure card, Brown. Composure card, Brown.
I see that, Jim. I'm trying to fix my drawing.
Okay.
I've had this.
Talk more, somebody. While Brown.
No, look, I do believe that Arkansas defensively up front can put that pressure on Bryce Young. I do think it will be, though, what we would call a track meet. That total 61. It's kind of a high total for an Alabama game, or an Alabama-Arkansas game, I should say.
Technically, Pritchard said I did draw a hog myself.
Yeah. My God. It's got a weird bend.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Brown, are you ready yet? I mean, you started drawing this at 8:30.
Well, I dropped it, Jim. What do you want me to do?
Somebody.
What, did it smear it?
Yes. I had done so well.
Somebody cares about their drawing a little too much.
I do. Oh, who's in the lead? All right, we're going to go to an ACC game.
Do I need him, Rockstar?
Hey, I just want to remind you, Dunaway's on this, by the way. He already bet a stake on this.
Now, here's what we're going to do today.
Okay.
We're going to go to an ACC game. However, tomorrow, because I looked at the board, and here's the first thing I do.
Pare it down.
I get rid of anything that's under 7.
You got to.
Well, I don't want to just pick like a 3.5. Dunaway made that rule years ago. I want to pick 7 or above. I want to give the listeners a real live upset, and I want to get maximum points, as I've done all season long here. So I just wipe all those out. Rockstar, there were so many 7 or more that I wanted to play today. So many. I mean, it was fish in a barrel. I am seeing so clearly this season.
RyansLock.com, everyone.
So then I said...
A little overconfidence here?
So then I'm 3-1. Have you seen the standings?
I have seen the standings.
So then I said, here's what I said, Rockstar. I said, you know what I also want to do? I want to give the listeners/viewers
free money.
The double-digit dog that's going to win outright.
To keep that streak going.
To keep that streak going. So I looked at that one.
Blowing up football.
But I like this one better. So here's what I'm going to do. This one is weather challenged.
Just get to your painting, Daniel.
So I'm going
Daniel Moore.
Jim Cramer. All those bells, buttons.
So I'm going to give you this one today.
Let's see your bow over the top. Come on.
And then tomorrow, I'm going to give you the double-digit dog that's going to win outright. And
You have to wait till tomorrow?
If this one gets rained out, I get to play that one.
Well, if y'all would let me call on Friday, I'll tell you what I want to do.
Oh, I got a picture of him right here. All right, we're going to go.
Wow.
We're going to go.
Wait, that's my banana right there.
With the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
That is quite that's a chin and tango and catch. Isn't it?
They're catching 7 points. They've got the best pass offense in the ACC going against the best pass defense in the ACC. The only difference is Florida State ain't seen my guy Sam Hartman, best looking quarterback on the planet, and he is going to carve up that Florida State secondary. Wake Forest in a weather-challenged hurricane game is catching 7, but Rockstar?
Hey, erase that +7 because you don't need them.
You don't need those things.
You don't need that
You
at
know
all.
what?
They win by 7.
I need to
Give me
remind
Wake.
you, Dunaway's got a stake on Wake this week.
I am cheering for you, Brownie. Cheering
Listen.
for you. But my favorite part is best pass offense in the ACC.
That is correct.
My mother-in-law had the best ass in the nursing home, too. That's not saying a
Oh,
lot.
my God. 6 years in a row.
Wow.
So weird.
Wasn't the nursing home actually your house? You had to move out of your own bedroom.
That sucks.
I
She beat
did.
out Maggie for that.
I know. That was a shot at your wife. All right,
It
so
really was.
So
Honey, Jane's ass is better than yours.
we got to get to break. We got to get a break.
Get to Pure Boy.
Oh, yeah, we got John Parker Wilson coming up. We
do.
got to stay on topic here. I'm going to give you tomorrow my double-digit dog that's going to win outright. You get the rest of my season free. Code I don't need them.
Okay.
At RyansLock.com.
That's the upset alert brought to you by our friends right there at Baumhauer's.
Yeah, remember, go to nextroundlive.com. You can play along with us. Somebody's going to win that weekly Bunch for Lunch winner. You and 5 friends will get a lunch from our friends at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And at the end of the year, somebody's going to get 2 tickets to the Iron Bowl and 2 passes to the Crimson Tide Sports Marketing Crimson Village Dinner.
Okay, when we come back, quick to trash so that we have time for John Parker Wilson to join us at 11:45. This is the next round.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter at JLuntz.
At ERA King Real Estate, they're empowered by technology and driven by community. They have the most extensive training and the most innovative tools in the business. And they've now opened their 10th office location in Central Alabama. To find your agent in your neighborhood, text the word MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35620. That's MOVE to 35620. In this crazy market, depend on a neighborhood friend. ERA King Real Estate, growing to serve you.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Getting the whole family into comfortable shoes can be an incredible feat, but not at New Balance Birmingham. We have the largest selection and inventory of any specialty shoe store, and our fit specialist will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
The next round is proud to partner with Vulcan Tire and Auto, and we're excited to announce their first-class team and facilities are growing. If you are an experienced general maintenance technician looking for a new opportunity with a great growing company, go by Vulcan Tire. They want to talk to you. Not experienced, but interested in working on cars? Again, go by Vulcan Tire. They have a spot for anyone that has a can-do attitude, wants to work, and enjoys helping people. 4 locations and more to come. Vulcan Tire and Automotive, Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Football season is back and so are tailgates. It's time to win that tailgate with Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and his winning team will open up the doors so you can dine in or an easy-to-go pickup when you order at champyschicken.com. At Champy's, you experience southern staples like chicken on a stick and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales that are to die for. Hand-cut chicken tenders and a whole lot more right on your way home or to the big game. Highway 119 in Alabaster. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken. The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com. When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services. For all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at crockermovingservices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, crockermovingservices.com. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Another one of those big college games being moved. This isn't one of the big ones, but Eastern Washington, Florida, and Gainesville moving to Sunday. That means they will fly the Eastern Washington team in a day later after the storm passes through the Tampa and Central Florida area. If there is massive damage from that storm, the game could still be postponed to a later date or canceled altogether. So we'll keep you updated on the changing schedule in college athletics and the pros as that continues to happen. Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila, a proud sponsor of the Next Round, the world's first clear multi-age tequila. Dobel Diamante. And trust me, it's not easy to make my wife happy. She sipped some of this the other day in one of her drinks. Wow. Loved it.
You are not easy to make happy.
These last 10 minutes for Maggie.
Dobel Diamante is a blend of extra añejo and reposado tequilas aged in a new European oak barrel, double filtered to remove color while producing a crystal clear spirit of character and smoothness. Crystal and clear in appearance, smooth and crisp on the finish. Maestro Dobel, the perfect tequila for sipping or mixing.
I just want to let you know, I don't know, don't get a big head about this, but you have the second best ass in this house.
Jim, it's just me and my mom here. Okay.
The nursing home.
The silver medalist, always happy at the Olympics.
Hey, grade her sermon this past weekend.
Oh, no.
What else? Oh, she didn't have one this past
Okay.
weekend. Yeah. She's a student at Duke right now.
Oh, yeah.
Lest you forget.
All right, let's hit it, Rockstar.
Father of two, Dale Decker, suffers from a rare and seemingly incurable condition that leads to him suffering up to 100 unwanted orgasms a day.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, if you're sick of ripping hair out over rent prices, put down the toupee and contact Mortgage Right today. Mortgage Right has all the first-time homebuyer essentials, including a variety of loan products, an easy pre-approval process, and a multitude of other resources for a seamless home buying experience. They'll treat you like family. They're always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. Don't let rent run you ragged. Become a homeowner today by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first. Detectives still trying to catch the crooks who stole the lavatory from an art exhibition at a mansion. Now, cops have admitted that despite making several arrests in connection with the theft, no one has been charged. It comes as officers from the Valley Police have renewed their appeal for anyone with information about the daring theft in 2019 to contact them. Now, the lavish lavatory created by artist Maruso Catalan was on display as part of an exhibition called America at Winston Churchill's birthplace. Now, just before 5 a.m. on September 14th, 2019, gang of thieves broke into the palace and ripped the newly installed gold toilet, which was fully plumbed in from the floor.
You think that's a little over the top?
No, come on now.
A gold toilet?
I bet Tracy Morgan's got one.
Hey, well, I bet you that toilet seat's always cold, though, when you sit on it.
A heavy piece of toilet, too.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't it look
Can
cold?
you imagine? I mean, it took a gang of them to carry it out there.
Do you remember, like, way back in the day, people had, like, fur on their toilet seats?
do. My aunt used to have
the
that.
toilet seat that when you sat on it goes, tsh.
My aunt had that, dude. The same
It's a
aunt. She
cushion.
had a fur toilet cover and the cushiony seat that when you would sit on it, go. I did not like it.
I mean, how long are you on the toilet to need fur, shag carpeting, and or cushion?
Yeah, not to mention that cushion.
Yeah, and somebody takes a piss on
That's
it.
right.
And how dirty is that shag carpet?
It's in that cushion forever.
Anyway, detectives investigating the theft revealed that the gang fled away in 2 getaway vehicles.
They really got it out
They
of
left
there.
the TP, though, man.
That's right. Did not take the paper.
Wow.
Man.
So no arrest yet.
I don't know if I'd want that gold. Somebody's crapped all in it.
How about this? Shots were fired outside of a South Florida bar after an argument broke out over who was supposed to sing next at a karaoke.
Oh, I can see this happening, man.
yeah.
If you start skipping lines, man.
I've got
Rihanna Umbrella on cue. I'm up next.
Now, patrons at the Sand Sports Bar Grill in Cutler Bay saw their fair share of gun violence around 11:30 p.m. on Thursday. Officials said an argument started between 4 to 5 adults outside of the bar when one person pulled out a gun and shot 2 people. And Zachary Ramos witnessed the argument that led up to the incident. Quote, "It was karaoke night. 2 males got into an argument about whose turn it was next on the stage. Turned into a big fight. When the males walked out to finish the fight outside, they started shooting each other. I was basically just in survival mode."
I mean, really, nothing says more manly than 2 males fighting over who's going to sing next.
Then once you settle it, going, all right, Jim, you're right. I overreacted. You sing first.
Yeah.
No,
get to
you sing first.
You get to do Baby Back, Got Back.
And then,
you
and then we
it.
find out we're both singing the same song.
That's
I'm
right,
super
yeah.
pissed. You're not doing We Built This City. That is my song.
We don't need them. Singing Brown's song.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Okay, so next story.
Did you forget you were doing trash for a second?
No. I was just waiting for him to pull that graphic.
Let it breathe.
Nina Dixon, 31, said people are stunned to find out that she is the mom to her daughter Millie, 11-year-old son Keaton, and 10-month-old baby Harmony.
Now, I got to say, I look at that photo. I'm guessing mom is
on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, mom's got to be on the right.
Ooh, I think it's the left.
Mom's the brunette.
Yeah. No, I was going to say the left, but it is that's a hard one.
Damn.
Oh, I would choose the one on the left.
Thanks, man. For what?
Choose her for what? We played
Deliver
dodgeball?
flowers?
I mean, just to ask her out, better looking.
Okay, now the student nurse who had Millie when she was 16 said people constantly think she is her twin sister rather than her mom. I mean, I can see it.
No, 100%. Y'all thought the girl on the right was the mom.
Well,
No.
only because the girl on the right looks like we drew our eyes on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was just thinking the more makeup.
Yeah. She is heavily made up. I don't deny that.
Now, her youthful look means that she has to take her ID on every night out and has been asked for identification when trying to buy a pet hamster. I don't know why you need ID to buy a pet
Okay,
hamster.
Yeah, it seems weird.
On the left, though, different angle.
A little bit older.
Looks
Yep.
older.
Can you zoom in?
But on the right,
Yeah,
they
zoom
look
into
like,
the right one.
They look like they could be dating, like they're taking,
I know.
like he's taking
Yeah.
her to the
It's
junior
like,
prom.
No, it's like a homecoming picture.
Yeah.
And she is tiny.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, think about if you met her on like one of these apps, Tinder.
I know.
Or
I'd feel like it's
Bumble.
a police sting.
No, but yeah, but I mean, you meet her for dinner. I mean, your people are like, "What in the hell? Who are you
Let's
with?"
sit down here. Why did you bring the summer breeze to get into the hot tub?
She was by herself. I just wanted to keep her company.
Can I get your daughter a high chair?
On your chat, it says, my thing. Did you say that? Well, yeah, I was up. My friend stole my computer, and I got the address to her house.
Why do you have
Weird.
the Boone's Farm?
How did he say it, Rockstar?
You say my thing. I'm all about that ass. You say that a lot. Why was that you in the chat? Well, yeah, but there's like a bunch of friends together, and somebody got on my computer and
My
somehow.
thing.
Yeah. You're free to leave. You can go whenever you want.
Now, are those
so
But the
awkward.
police are waiting right outside.
that's
They're
right,
like in
yes.
the ambush gear. They tackle him. So unnecessary.
Hey, are those headphones a tape measure or her purse?
I don't know.
I think it's a tape measure.
It's like a black hole.
Yep.
This story's
Can you
creeping
tell
me
me
out.
how
Next-
long this
next
piece
story.
of lumber is?
So how old is she now? She's got to be at least 32.
She's 31.
31. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, she
Now-
looks young for 31.
So, daughter's 15. Daughter looks old for 15, and
Kind
she
of
looks
agree.
really,
Yeah.
really young for 31. Next picture might be more disturbing.
Oh, no.
At 90 years old, Jim Arrington is the world's oldest bodybuilder.
What the hell happened to Jesse Plemons, man?
No, you gotta look-
That's Jimmy Carter.
That's Joe Biden.
No, it's the guy. It's the guy who was the friend of the quarterback on Friday Night Lights in the TV series.
Jesse Plemons.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Full
Or the guy
circle.
that looks like Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Looks like a discount Matt
He's
Damon.
in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Jesse
God,
Plemons.
if only I knew their names.
Can you imagine who has to place that
I
eight
can't
on
believe
him?
y'all don't see Jimmy Carter there.
I see.
I see more Joe Biden than Jimmy Carter.
Wait, is that a humble brag? That he ate?
Well, so I was going to say, like, I had to place that. Sir, I got to place your number on.
It's only one place I can put it.
You'll be two
How old-
steps in line of the guys with the 6 on their shirt.
How old is this codger?
I mean, dude's
90.
90.
Well, he looks
I mean, that's fantastic for 90.
80,000 times better shirtless than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks better than me.
That is amazing.
Now, he says he's just getting started. Arrington, who has been given the title of the oldest male bodybuilder by the Guinness Book of World Records 2018, recently stripped down in this photo shoot for Men's Health to prove that everybody, no matter what age, is perfect. Now, for the lifelong fitness aficionado, it was also an opportunity to educate other seniors on the importance of nourishing the relationships with their bodies. In all, Arrington has competed in more than 60 competitions. He's won 16, and he still has big goals.
Well, I mean, how many people are in his class?
Well, I'll get to that. In 2017 interview with People, Arrington recalled a bittersweet moment in his 80s when he realized he was alone on the competition stage. Still, he decided he was going to keep going.
How the hell did you do? What did you do to do it? Show up.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what he did. I mean,
that's half of life, man, is being there.
Okay. This next one, perfect for the lunching hour. Woman spent 3 days in the hospital after her daughter's dog accidentally shit on her face when she was asleep and her mouth was open.
It happens, guys.
Oh, accidentally.
Amanda Gomo, 51, was taking an afternoon nap with the Chihuahua Belle that you see there when the pooch became ill and had violent diarrhea.
Oh, God, Lance, stop.
Mama
Please.
3 was asleep with her mouth open.
And you know, at first you do this. You go,
Oh, Dunaway, stop.
She ran to the bathroom to be sick, but later ended up in the hospital with a gastrointestinal infection passed on from the dog. Amanda from Bristol said, quote, I was having an afternoon nap with Belle like I always do when I suddenly felt something squirt in my mouth. I rushed to the bathroom to clean up.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I was hurling violently for hours. I couldn't get the taste out of my mouth.
there you go, another bell that'll make you run for the border.
Oh, God. Wow, that's just.
Dunaway, guys. Oh, I think I'm going to be sick. I hate those stories.
Oh, that's about,
Well,
the, size
you know,
of,
if
about the size of Charlie.
Would,
isn't it?
would Charlie go to the farm forever?
I don't even want to think about it.
You get tossed across the road, just.
He eats his own. Dumb dog.
He's just recycling.
It's your own crap.
John Parker Wilson will join us
doesn't.
in studio next. Part of our show. Oh, excuse me, that is trash brought to you by.
Yeah, big government Not always bad news. Our friends at Mortgage Right have some valuable government-backed loan options to help you buy your first home. Government-backed loans are trending upwards among first-time home buyers, and for good reason. You can save on down payment costs, get better interest rates, and reap the benefits of choosing one of the top-ranked lenders in the nation. Mortgage Right has closed thousands of FHA, USDA, and VA loans. They're eager to help you next. Buy your first home the right way by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm getting 6.5 points, and Chris Rodriguez is back this week.
That is right.
What
He
am I
is back.
missing about this game, Lance?
Hey, Ole Miss pretty good. Jackson Dart's, this is his coming out party against this Kentucky defense.
I've got Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez and 6.5 points.
Yeah.
Makes
and as
no
you can
sense.
see,
Peyronie's disease.
Yeah, hold it back up. As you can see, Jim's very excited that NASCAR is coming back to the Talladega Superspeedway.
I am, very much so.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the big one.
Oh, no.
That's what they say in Talladega.
It was actually a funny line. Hey, 877-GO-TO-DEGA to get tickets. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. While you're there, you can also look at the great experiences like the Saturday night infield concert. Chase Rice coming to Talladega. Bailey Zimmerman opening for Chase Rice. Sunday ticket holders have access to the show. It starts at 7:30. You can see more at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Congrats to Andrew Bolin, who won a pair of weekend tickets, and Nick Dewing, who won a pair of weekend tickets plus garage passes. Congrats. We'll be in touch with you. You can get all that by going to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
At Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, you can now drive the 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia TI, the Italian sports sedan of your dreams, starting at $499 per month plus tax with $4,999 down, plus first payment and title due at delivery. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, 1837 Grants Mill Road, or Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com. Like financial lease, 10,000 miles per year, WAC, MSRP, $51,490. Stock numbers Q0059, Q0068, or Q0074.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386, or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com, or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live daily show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons. If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short-notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. All the coaches I talk to believe you win championships in all 3 phases of the game. And the same is true with my friends at Wayne's with pest protection, termite protection, and lawn care. The website is callwaynes.com. Remember the promo code TNR for big savings. With the cold weather coming, the pests will be trying to break through your defense and come inside. You can save $60 right now off of Smart Pest by using that promo code TNR. So go online to callwaynes.com or call the phone number 866-WAYNES1 and remember the promo code TNR.
Back with you right here on the next round. John Parker Wilson in studio with us in just a second. Earlier we did our upset alerts. You can see that. Forster will send that out in a little bit at Next Round Live on Twitter. And you can always see it on YouTube as well. John Parker Wilson, our conversation with him every week is brought to you by
our friends at Premier Garage. Listen what Premier Garage does for you. They make your garage a showplace, basically. They've got the garage floor coatings, the storage cabinets, the organization systems that transform your cluttered garages into clean, efficient spaces. Contact them here locally. 205-956-3939. That's 956-3939. Or go online and see what they can do for you. PremierGarage.com. That is PremierGarage.com. John Parker Wilson with us now. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Not hungry.
Oh.
You just had after that story?
After the story, yeah.
That was bad.
Awful.
That was bad.
Hey, how excited do you get as being part of the broadcast team to go into an environment like Fayetteville, knowing that this could be a semblance of a game? I mean, last weekend you go into Bryant-Denny knowing they're going to blow them out.
Yeah.
We were sort of just talking about this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a lot more fun, right, to be engaged the entire game and to have strategy and what's taking place, knowing that, we're two touchdown favorites right now, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than that. I mean, I think it's more fun for us. It's more fun for everybody when it's competitive and it comes down to the last few minutes or the last plays or whatever. So as a broadcaster now, I mean, I think we would prefer it, right? We would prefer a close game. I mean, as a fan, we love blowing them out, but just the exchange and the energy and everything else during a close game, I mean, it's fun. It really is.
Dunaway, I bet you know this because you study Alabama's schedule, but I don't know if there's a more brutal 6-game stretch than what Alabama has coming up.
No, these next 3 are really challenging.
Well, think about this. So at Arkansas, Texas A&M, at Tennessee, Mississippi State, at LSU, at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
There's really no let-up, right? I mean,
no, there isn't.
No, that's going to be all top 25 teams. I mean, if Mississippi State wins this week, A&M might drop out. But if LSU beats Auburn, I think they're ranked.
Yeah, I mean, what LT is saying, Alabama would be lucky to go 3-3, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I do think that there's a chance there's a loss in those 6.
I mean, I think for sure, right? Yeah. I mean, we're playing really good teams. A&M was able to beat Arkansas. I mean, Tennessee looks really, really good. And then you throw in Mississippi State with what Will Rogers is doing, and that's such a tough team to prepare for on defensively because they're really different than everybody else in the SEC, right? I mean, the offense is laid out completely different. We've had pretty good success against Mississippi State the past couple of years, but I mean, to me, that's a wild card, especially with how many yards they're putting up right now. I mean, it's tough. This is tough. And you look at Alabama and say, oh, well, their schedule's not that tough because they're the number 1, number 2 team in the country, and everybody else is having to play up, and theirs appear more. But, yeah, it's, you go on the road to Tennessee and then down to LSU. I don't care how good LSU. It's going to be a tough game down there, and probably a night game. So, we've had a pretty easy start to the season, had to go on the road to Texas, but now it's time to, you got to lock in right now. And Fayetteville, y'all been there. That's a tough place.
Yeah.
It is. It's loud.
And red out this week, so it'll be really tough. I want to ask you, if we were doing this interview in 2013, 2014, the big topic would be KJ Jefferson, a dual threat, physical running quarterback who can get yardage running the football. That doesn't seem to scare Alabama as much as it used to. Is this guy a little different? Is that something that's a concern this weekend, even with the adjustment they've made with personnel to stop the running quarterbacks? Is this still a guy that can hurt you running the football?
No doubt. Anytime you face a true dual threat quarterback like Jefferson, who's not only, he's a great thrower, but his size. What is he, 240 pounds, I think?
Huge, yes.
He's a big guy. So he's difficult to bring down if he was just the running back, and now he's got the chance to roll out and throw it. I think you are right, though. Our personnel has changed a lot in the past 10 years where, you look at our linebackers, they're all, pretty athletic. Even, Jalen Moody, I think, runs really well. Got Toto and Dallas Turner, Deontay Lawson are playing really well. But the dual threat quarterback's tough because you've got to be perfect on defense. You got to stay in your lanes. There was a couple times Alabama this past week didn't stay in their lanes, and you broke contain. And when you do that against a quarterback like Jefferson, he's going to hurt you. So you got to be disciplined, and then kind of get into the flow of the game. Pete Golding, it's a different game plan, and it's different during the game. If he gets hot running the ball, you got to adjust what you're doing defensively.
John Parker Wilson is with us, analyst, Crimson Tide Sports Network, 11:30 airtime, 2:30 kick on CBS from up in Fayetteville. He's with us each week, courtesy of Premier Garage, who provides garage floor coatings. They just look so much better and so much easier to keep clean when you have those coatings. The storage cabinets, the organization systems, they transfer your cluttered garage into clean, efficient spaces. PremierGarage.com, PremierGarage.com, 956-3939. That's 205-956-3939. I think everybody would agree this was, last Saturday, Alabama's most complete performance so far. Obviously, some of it has to do with the fact you're playing Vandy, but what about it made it so complete and clean to you? What did you see different there?
Well, defense is continuing to play good. They're playing at a high level. Will Anderson being able to get back to the quarterback like he did, kind of concerns me a little bit. We saw Byron Young leave the game. Jordan Battle left with a hamstring. So two pretty important people for our defense. So defense looks great. To me, on offense, though, it was the best passing game we've had.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Brooks really stepped up. Trayshawn Holden, Burton had a good game. So we got a lot of guys involved in the passing game. And, you throw in Jahmyr Gibbs. And the difference was the explosive passes. It was the plays downfield that make drives, that make scoring so much easier. When you get chunks and you don't have to just rely on the dink and dunk. And I like that we were able to do it against two high safeties most of the time. Vandy was pretty conservative. They played soft, but we were still able to get downfield. Bryce continues to play well, but we got everybody involved. It wasn't just running this time. Against ULM, we really focused on the run game. It seemed like we were more leaning passing game, but ran the ball extremely well. I think we went over 200 yards. So
it's interesting you said that because you hear Nick Saban a lot when they question why they couldn't get the ball downfield. He's like, well, they were playing two high safeties on us. So a lot of teams do that to Alabama, right? That's something you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he said it at halftime of the Texas game, if I remember right.
Yeah,
going off the field.
Too deep, when it's cover two, it's tough to throw in. It really is. And you want to be able to run the ball and major in running. So, and I think he said after this game, we took what they gave us. A lot of the passes, especially on that Ja'Cory Brooks drive where he caught every ball, Bryce just saw the guy 10 yards off, so let's throw it to him.
Yeah.
And then the second he moves up, all right, we're going to run right by him. So I think Bill O'Brien did a really good job of understanding what Vandy was trying to do to us, and then, was pretty creative in the play calls. A lot of five wides, spreading guys out. You've heard Saban talk a lot about that, is spreading guys out, let them win in space.
After 4 games, any surprise Jace McClellan leads the team in rushing?
Probably because so much hype that Gibbs had coming in. But, he appears to be the third down, short yardage back. Probably as much involvement that Gibbs has had in the passing game, it helps that we do have a number 2 guy. I wouldn't even call him another number 1 guy that McClellan is.
How about Brock Bowers has got 3 more rushing touchdowns than Gibbs?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's taking anything away from Gibbs. I think he's emerged as so productive in the passing game. It's like, all right, if you got a 40-yard run downfield, now it's McClellan's turn to come in, and I think McClellan, he's moving. His vision has become really good in the pocket, in between the tackles, of being able to see the lanes and get going. I think traditionally Saban wants to play multiple running backs if he can, and this year he's got the luxury to do it.
This is to set you up to talk about how Bryce Young, I don't think he makes it look so easy. I don't think we appreciate him enough, because I can't think of when he's had a bad game. I can't think of one. And I'm going to bring up one of your bad games as an example. You were fantastic in 2008, right? I mean, fantastic in 2008. I was hosting the Nick Saban show at Arkansas, if I remember correctly, and every time you guys ran the ball off tackle, it was like 30 yards, 50 yards, touchdowns. But you didn't have a great passing day. Like, you were a little erratic. It was windy. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah.
And we were doing the post-game show, and some drunk from the skybox said, "Well, remember you running up the score, throwing late." And we had to start over because we're taping it. Yeah, and we start again. He's like,
Bet that went well.
Running up the score. I remember. We're going to remember you running up the score. He cusses a little bit. And Nick finally turns around. Every time we ran the ball, we got a touchdown. I was passing late, so we didn't run up the score.
Did he really say that?
Yes. He screamed it back at it. And he turned, let's do it again.
Third time's a charm.
But you had a great year. Bryce doesn't seem to have that down year, that down game. What is it about him that keeps him, I don't know. He's a machine. He seems to be a machine.
Well, he is, and I caught myself, I think it was either this game or last game, of Milroe or somebody was in the game, and he had a bad throw, made a bad mistake or something. And I thought, like, I didn't call him out. I just said what was happening. And I thought the same thing of, like, I never have to say this about Bryce. You never have to say, like, Bryce threw it to the wrong guy. You know, he had a couple underthrows against ULM, but it's like when he does something that is not perfect, and I say it, it's like, wow, I'm not used to saying this. Look, he's a complete package. He really is. And I've said it too. I think his undersized, right, was probably you know, a con, or not a con. It was a weakness when he was young, maybe like Pee Wee ball. But now, to me, his vision is what sets him apart, and he's accurate. He's as accurate as it gets. I mean, Tua to me was probably the most accurate guy I've ever seen throwing the ball. But Bryce is right there with him. Like, he makes the people around him better, because even if they're a little bit off, or they're a little bit deeper on their route, or they don't have the perfect separation, like he's able to make up for other inefficiencies.
11 different people again this week caught the ball. I mean, how can you have chemistry with 11 people, knowing that? Because some of those are reads, right? If the guy's covering you inside, you cut outside. If he's outside, he cut inside. And he completed it to 11 different guys.
Because he's that good. Like, most of the guys would need chemistry with 11 different people, but he's like, just go run the route. I'll get you the ball. And that is why he's so good, because he can adapt to whatever's happening, whether the play's breaking down and he finds Gibbs like he did in the end zone against Texas. Like, that play doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you even see that guy? But, you know, last year was the same thing. A lot of guys got hurt, and then he comes in, and it's like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
The other guys are going to be not as good as the starters, because they hadn't played all season, but he's going to get on the ball. He's just that good.
The Bonds kid keeps getting open. He's got a couple of drops.
Isaiah Bond.
But my God, he gets open.
He does
all the time. He runs a good route.
And he's starting to play him and the other guy. I forget his name. I don't have my sheet in front of me. They're getting more reps too.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we learned from last year, when you are going to have injuries, it's going to happen. That, you know, run as many people out there as you can. And we still got Earl and Harrell on the bench right now with injuries.
And Aaron Anderson. Both they were all dressed and went through pregame, so maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah.
All right, he's John Parker Wilson. You'll hear him at 11:30 airtime, 2:30 kick for the Alabama-Arkansas game from Fayetteville. He is presented by Premier Garages. Premier Garage, you can see more at premiergarage.com, 956-3939. They transformed cluttered garages into clean, efficient spaces with that garage floor coating, the storage cabinets, organization systems, all of that. PremierGarage.com, 956-3939. Enjoy the trip.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I don't know. This is a tough place to play. It doesn't scare me, but, I mean, this is the start of some pretty good SEC football.
That's right. This is the beginning of the season for Alabama coming up in the SEC. On the road this weekend, we're back in a moment on the next round. That hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's, champyschicken.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
And we're back with some breaking transfer news out of Tuscaloosa. Tyler Bigbie, the award-winning realtor we've been talking about for months, has moved his license to Keller Williams Tuscaloosa. Tyler can now service Baldwin and Jefferson County as well. Call Tyler Bigbie if you're looking to purchase a home this fall, 205-826-6476, or visit tylerbigby.kw.com. That's Bigbie, B-I-G-B-I-E.
Culver's could have only started in Wisconsin. Just ask our team member Marcus.
Let's just say you can't take America's Dairyland out of Culver's. Like the real Wisconsin cheese on our juicy butter burgers, the farm fresh dairy in our fresh frozen custard, even our crispy golden Wisconsin cheese curds. It may sound cheesy, but we love where we come from at Culver's.
Almost as much as we love sharing it with our guests. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, Lance Taylor to tell you about my friends at Wayne. Summer is ending, which means fall is here. Fall means football, but don't forget about that yard. My yard is looking fantastic thanks to our friends at Wayne's. Summer ending and lawns soon be